Hello and good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Is it spooky month in Arabia? Put a little spooky song? Play a little spooky dance?
Oh my god.
Hey, there we go. Why am I wearing this mask?
Yes, why is Johnny
Yes.
wearing a pumpkin mask?
I found this at Family Dollar for $3, and it was, has a little mouth. The mouth is supposed to open and close when you speak, but it just doesn't.
Yeah, I feel like they should have like a chin strap or something that does
Yeah,
it.
there's a little pad right where the chin is that's supposed to go underneath my chin. I think it's more for a kid size than anything else. So I can have it like this and it stays open like this.
Yeah.
You can have me just a little bit better like this. I can't do Skid's voice from Spooky Month. I tried.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Had my nose not been fucked up, I was going to do the Eshu that I've been meaning to play.
The Eshu.
But I never. Yes.
Let's get this out of the fridge.
I was initially thinking, oh, Puka, because I'm a furry. But no, I wanted to do an Eshu because they teach...
Kyle was going to wear his fursuit for us and everything. There's more effort than you could go through.
Oh, sorry.
That's not something I'm going to say on stream. But I do have a tail. I will say that much.
I will say I've been in one of those suits before, but it was a Bojangles thing.
Oh, okay.
Where it was a 4th of July parade, and it had a chicken suit.
That's
and
funny.
I got in it, you could see through the beak. And it was just fun, just going around in costume like that. Nobody knows who you are, and you just get to goof around.
Cool.
Yeah, Johnny has a chicken persona. Be funny.
There it is. You don't see many chicken furries on Fur Penny.
No, you don't. But the chick that wrote Beastars is.
There it is. Oh, the same woman who's the daughter of the guy who made Grapplebaki.
Yeah, that's the one.
There we go. You gotta love an entire family of manga artists. They write 2 very different stories.
Yes.
All right. There we go. We're doing another Puka double feature. I will send you the thumbnail for this later.
Yes.
Or you already have it. It's in the Thursday chat. And there we go. So we can just start. The Zen pack is now in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into it. Camera's off. All right. So let's see. We're doing another double feature. We've already tried doing the Puka before. We're going to try again. And we're going to couple it with the Eshu. What's the theme of today's episode? Liars. That's the theme of the episode today.
The
Pants
Eshu
on
don't
fire.
lie nearly as much as the Puka, however.
The Eshu do lie, but you don't notice it. Because it's so enthralling of a story, you don't catch it until the story is just about over. With the Puka, you know they're lying straight up, and it plays to their advantage. If you can't take anything they say seriously, then they can just tell you anything, and it's not going to matter. You won't believe it. They can go ahead, they can give you the nuclear launch codes, you just won't believe it. Oh, I should probably introduce who's with us. Yeah, you got your usual host with us, we got King Agreed with us, and we got Lieutenant Sec for the second episode, Victor.
Yellow.
Yes.
All
The Malk,
That's
who claims to be of wild descent and
right.
believes himself relatives of the changelings.
Let's turn this off, it's too cultured.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a fracture of God within me, for all I care.
See, your camera's still on, you schmuck. Let's go to the Kith book.
All right.
All right. So we're going to the Eshu first. We're going to the Eshu first. We're going to do the new content first. Now, what do we think the Eshu are? What do you think these guys are? Greed, you already know.
Correct.
So, Ryan, who do you think these guys are based on that picture? You got any ideas, Ryan? You got an unmuted microphone, Ryan?
I think he's getting a drink right now.
He's getting a beer. He saw us drinking, now he's gone off. All right, well, how about you, Victor? What do you think?
Wanderers.
They are
Fortune
the Arabian
tellers.
Nights fairy, so to speak. But they did get their start in Africa. So you start at Morocco, you go all the way to, say, Afghanistan, maybe India, and then everything south of that, that's them. That's their territory. They have the most land out of all the changelings. Yay for them. To the point where the reason why they never made an Ebony Kingdom changeling is because there's no real point in doing it because they're all monocultural, so to speak. The Eshu's culture dominates the entire area. Changeling the podcast had this cold take saying, well, why do we have the Eshu here that are appropriating all this culture and they cover too many things and blah, blah, blah. It's the same shit that fucking Werewof said about the Stargazers. Bruh, shut up and just enjoy the game. I like the Ishu. I like their concept. I like their style. I like their culture. I like everything about the Ishu. Quit complaining about the Ishu. Do you like Changeling or do you not like Changeling? Because I like
They're
the Ishu. I want to talk about the Ishu. I
to
was very excited
discrepancy
about this episode.
to defend them right here real quick. The
Mhm.
Ishu and the Star Changers, well, Star whatever the fuck their names are
Stargazers.
multicultural
Yeah.
travelers, meaning they adopt whatever culture they go into.
Yes,
Surprise.
they take other parts of culture and take the stories and carry it with them. They're messengers, they're storytellers, the yarn spinner. The people that you meet, you take a little piece of those people with you, and that becomes a piece of you. That's what it means to be nomadic. You don't have a single nation you belong to multiple people.
You're a citizen of the world, so to speak.
Yes, and that's why I really like the issue. And I'm waiting for a spot to fit the issue in, but like the Vinshu and Giovanni, it needs to feel organic when I use them. So
See,
let's begin
if
with...
I was in Minnesota, I probably could have snuck in an Ishu and he could have been good friends with Paris because they would both
Probably.
work with children. The
Yeah,
idea
there is.
I'll probably talk about the idea I had later, but yeah.
Let's begin with changing history. How much do we know about Yoruba mythology? Do we even know who the Yoruba people are?
I do.
No.
Not a
They're in
whole lot.
Nigeria or something.
Yes, it is in Nigeria. You wish to go to Nigeria? 1/3 of that country, that is the Yoruba people. And their mythology is the one that's the most well known. Now, the Yoruba have a sun god, their own version of Zeus called Olorun. And the Ishu say that Olorun, he made us. Well, not necessarily made us, but he commissioned us. The Shi want to tell you that the Shi existed before all the other kith. That is a lie, the Ishu say. It was Olorun who made us first, and then every other kith was made after that by other people. But you had Olorun, the sky god. He's sitting around one day saying, "Why is the earth empty? Why is there nobody on the planet? Here, my two sons, their names were Obatala and Oranmila, the youngest son and the oldest son, respectively. And he said, go out there, I need you to make stuff to populate the world. You sent in Obatala, he makes everything on the land. And then you have Uranmila, he makes magic, so to speak. So Obatala gives you the human body, Uranmila gives you the changeling magic, so to speak. The reason why you are a changeling in the first place is because you're made from two different brothers that manage two different things. He then found his last guy, Ishu, who wasn't his son, but it was a friend god. He was this god of linguistics, god of messages, god of gateways, and he said, I am going to task you to lead these people to collect sacrifices in my name. Ishu says, all right, sounds good. He goes over, gets his friends, gets his Ishu people, and he says, you are to go out, you are to find out who these people are in all these different villages, who can we sacrifice, what resources do they have. You are to take my census data, you are to retrieve sacrifices. This is your job. The Ishu said, sounds great, boss, and went off to do just that.
That sounds like an issue.
It's an issue, yeah. And it became a big issue because the Ishu, when you have a boss like Ishu who is all laissez-faire, you don't have a very strong government, so to speak. Ishu doesn't want to manage his guys, so all the Ishu people go around and do whatever they want. As long as the job gets done, they can run it however they want. And eventually they split off into two different groups. They say that the seated court and unseated court, that was an Ishu invention. The Shi did not come up with that. It was the Ishu who did. Where they split off into two subcultures. The Ojo, who would become the seated court. These are people that had a lust for life, a lust for justice, that wanted to have a higher calling, that wanted to do the right thing, that wanted to be beloved by all. And the Iku, who are the unseelie. They loved death, darkness, despair, nihilism. They wanted to do whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted, with nothing holding them back. And so they did. And eventually the Ojo and the Iku spread out across not just the land that would become Nigeria, but all of West Africa, into North Africa, into Central Africa, and then beyond. And eventually they were so spread out and doing such a good job as, say, magical men in the middle, that slowly but surely, people began to associate the deeds of the Inter-kith with Eshu himself. Every Eshu started going around and got the idea, hey, if I were to take credit for Eshu's work and claim that I'm a demigod, then maybe I can land a whole bunch of glamour in my pocket, and I can use that to fuel my powers. Because what all can changelings do again with some of these cantrips, with some of these gifts? I don't know, you got gimmicks. Let me raise the road off the earth. Chicanery, let me disarm an entire army of people with the wave of my hand. Primal, where here, let me just create fire and throw it.
And my favorite, metamorphosis. You're fighting a dragon now.
And there
That's
you go. You got
fucking amazing.
all these insane
Awesome.
powers, and they had access to some of the sovereign arts and the sacred arts. Stuff like high level cantrips that no other changelings has their hands on. And when Eshu Prime learned about this, he became infuriated, saying, "What the fuck? Are you telling me that all my people are impersonating me and taking the credit for my own existence? I need to go down there and I need to tell them something." He gets up, goes over to his people, and takes a look, and he can't bring himself to be wrathful. The Ojo and the Iku are just too entertaining in their shenanigans for him to really be mad at them. So he says, "All right, I'm a chill. I'm gonna think about this. How can I punish you the right way?" And he thinks, "I gotta come up with the best possible punishment. I got it. You guys are going around, and I noticed something. You like telling stories. You like finding out secrets, and you like telling people these secrets to make yourselves look like these geniuses, these keepers of lost lore and knowledge. Here, I got your punishment for you." He calls for all of his children to gather around him. It's kind of similar to Cappadocius with the Feast of Folly, right? And just like Cappadocius, there's a group of Eshu that don't follow. The Aithu, where this is a villain kith, so to speak. If you want an evil Eshu in your game, they're called the Aithu, Aithu, who are fundamentally your shadow court. And they flee because they're afraid of being punished by Eshu, and end up becoming this group of man-haters. They spread stories to deceive people, to crush hopes and dreams, to just torment people. They tell horror stories that are made to terrify you into staying in your hut forever instead of doing it for fun. And all the Eshu that did respond to the call, he goes over to each one and he tells them a secret. What is the secret? You don't know. Because the punishment is, if you tell anybody about this, you die.
Oh shit.
And there you go. You know the secret of the universe, and you can tell nobody about it. And that's your punishment. You have the best story in the world, and you can tell this to nobody.
I'd tell it to somebody.
Yes. And your heart would immediately stop after doing so.
Hey, at least they
There.
would know.
It's a hell of a death, right?
It's a Krabby
And he
Patty
says, not only
formula.
that, but you're going to stop calling yourself the Eshu. I got a new name for you guys now. You're the Elegbara. That is your name. Elegbara. And I'm Eshu. That's who I am. You're the Elegbara. There you go. That's your punishment. I'm out. And with that, he goes back into heaven, and all the Elegbara look around and say, "Well, do we keep collecting sacrifices? I
Is it
guess."
just me? Or is that name great for a D's Nuts joke?
Elegbara.
God.
It's
You could do some
just,
sort of
it's
some
the
wordplay
first
with
thing I
that.
thought of when I heard on it.
There's some sort of wordplay we can work into this. Put in the comments down below when you find it out. And now the Eshu look around saying, are we fired? Do we still have a job with the gods? I don't know. Let's just leave. Yeah, we could just leave. And they just left the land that would be Nigeria and just went everywhere, all across Africa and into the Middle East, where most of what the Eshu are known for would be codified in the Middle East, because, hey, it's the world's first real democracy and the bedrock of civilization is in the Middle East. That's where you get most of your stuff from. But there's a few Eshu that stay behind in Nigeria, and Eshu looks and says, "Hey, you guys are actually still on with this god thing we've got going on? Yeah, we are. Here, you are now the Oba, LBA. I'm going to bless your bloodline specifically, and you will be the strongest of your brothers. And with that, a divine bloodline, so to speak, forms within the Ishu. The Oba, who are almost identical in power to the Shi, and act very similarly to the Shi, and while the Oba were around, they were the leaders of Kithane society. The Shi want to say that they've always been in control, even when they shut the gates to Arcadia and just camped out into dreaming. When the Shi left, it was the Oba who were calling the shots, that were leading Kithane society, where the Shi had failed. You're noticing a few parallels with the issue here, that they're kind of like, say, Shadow Lords combined with not Silver Silent Striders.
A little bit,
Yeah.
yeah, but less subversives than the Shadow Lords, at least. Sure, they're good at lying, but at the same time, they're more so delivering messages. That they have more in line with the Korax than they do with the Shadow Lords.
And they're more responsible with their power than anything else. They want power, but they're not going to abuse the power.
Want me
I can
to
respect
describe the interactions when the Shi met the Ishu, or do you want to keep going with this part?
Well, let me describe the Sundering first, and then we'll get into it. So the Sundering, it goes over the course of many, many years. You start noticing that, why are you mining ore? Why are you making stuff out of metal? Why are you trying to hunt us now? Why are you so scared of fairy tales now? And we don't get it. We're trying to help you. We're trying to teach you the right way, but now humanity just doesn't seem to want to listen to us. Okay, we need to get these guys back in line. We need people to start trusting us again. Who are these guys up to the north across the Mediterranean Ocean? They're called the Shi. Okay, let's see what they got to say. King, you may interject. How did this meeting with the Shi go?
It went as well as you thought it did.
The Shi said, "Oh, what are you doing here? Your skin is darker than ours. You speak the funny language."
No, it wasn't that racist.
Oh my god. I was gonna make like some chocolate bar joke or some dumb shit.
That would have been the Surfing saying that.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
no.
fuck 'em.
What happened was, it was very simple. I actually read a little bit of the book to get a bit of a feel for this one here.
Mhm.
When the Shi and the Ishu met, the Ishu went to the Shi, not trying to act superior. They were trying to say, "You're royals, we're royals. Let's be equal." The Shi were responded with, "No."
No,
Ha no.
we're better because those who are eternal say we are. And the Isha saying, you sound just really condescending and pompous. We don't really respect that.
Yes.
And
Even in the
Yeah.
book, when both they met, they both, let's be honest here, they scuffled a little bit. And the reason why, and it goes further into the Shining Host book, where the She described where, or was it the Ishu book, I forget, where they did what the Tremere did to this Salubri. They spreaded nasty rumors, and they lost a lot of their credibility real hard and real fast.
Yeah, those Ishu, they're witches. They tell evil stories. Don't trust them. Don't be around them. And the Ishu are just looking, go, what the fuck? And they're trying to take the high road while the Shi are taking the low road. And eventually that just breaks down any sort of diplomatic relationship that Ishu could have had with the other Kith. So, great. Great.
Now,
So when the shattering
even in the-
happens, what?
yes, even in the book, they both agree they both have certain strengths and weaknesses, because even the Ishu will admit we can't run the kingdom as well as the Shi. We can admit that.
It's the whole thing with the Ventru saying, like, the Ventru know that they can't do everything. You need to delegate some tasks. So when the Shi and the Ishu are getting along, everything's great. But that's not the case, because when the shattering is about to happen, the Ishu are able to foresee it. They have soothsay. They're able to see the shattering about to happen. They go over to the Shi. They try to say, hey, you gotta warn people about this. Get ignored. And try telling other Kith about this. Nobody's listening to a thing they say. So when the shattering does happen, consensus changes, and then all the Fae begin to die, and the Shi just run off into Arcadia, the Ishu are looking and saying, okay, we try getting along, but I think we hate your guts now. That's not forgivable. A leader just doesn't run out their people like that. Just what the hell, guys? So they gotta think and realize, oh, the changing way. We can't put the changing way? This is actually a good idea. We need to do that. We need to merge ourselves with human bodies. Everybody needs to do that. And behold, the way you survive in Africa is, but you just find a host, you bind your soul to them, and behold, now we have changelings all over Africa and the Middle East, and that's all that's there because the anime and the true fae aren't really a thing anymore. You still do have an anime, but they're just old as hell and they're all asleep, if I'm remembering that right. And
the anime mostly stay in the dream. They're not asleep; they just stay in the dreaming most of the time.
Oh, okay, so that sleeping is not the word I don't think. Dormant. That's what I want to think of.
Yeah, they're actually. Never mind. That's more for the anime episode when we talk about them.
Yeah, and now you have the Internum, where while the Black Death is killing everybody in Europe, the Eshu are meanwhile in the middle of Africa and the Middle East saying, "Hey, you guys dying over there? Cool, we're not." And they just enjoy themselves in the Middle East. Everything's fine here.
Chilling out here, learning all these cool stories and all this math in the Baghdad House of Wisdom. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, you idiots are putting leeches to yourselves, trying to drain the sickness out of you. We invented eye surgery in the year 900. What have you got? And that's when the full reputation with the She came out, because all these other kith that survived the Black Plague are looking over and saying, "Hey, how come you guys didn't die? How are you doing this? Okay, you're telling stories, you're doing this. How are you still alive?" And the Ishi say, "Well, now that you want to listen to us, let's start telling you who we are, and let's properly introduce ourselves without the She throwing us off." And eventually, the age of exploration comes around, and the Ishu begin to regain some of their former glory. Let's go to India. Let's go to China. Let's go to Japan, Russia, other parts of Europe. They spread all across the old world, and eventually become the leaders where the She fail. Where you have the Oba, who oversee the Ishu carry out the orders of the Oba, and you got something decent going on here. We eventually get the commoners, where all the kith are able to manage themselves. They all appoint leaders, and everything is fine. Well, it's not really fine. I mean, the shattering happened. As good as it's gonna get. That's a better term.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, what else did Isha do? Well, besides telling stories, they become pioneers. They want to go out, discover new lands, help people civilize new lands. You want to check out this spot all the way up on the Alps? Good, cool. We can help you out with that. You want to sell a place over in South Africa? We can help you with that. You want to form Nepal? We can help you with that too. There, along with that, pirates. You want to play a pirate game? Because the Ishu are all in on that.
Somalia.
Oh, I would fucking love to do that, man.
A fairy pirate game.
I'm
That
Captain Jack Sparrow.
That sounds ridiculous, but really fun at the same time.
That's why I want to do it.
Somalian.
Yeah,
I sold my wife for internet connection.
I had to reference.
You start seeing this massive wave of glamour just fall right into the Ishu's lap. Speaking of piracy and sailing across the seven seas, what else happens around this time? I don't know. Transatlantic slave trade, maybe.
A little rough.
Yeah, the Ishu are looking at, say, the Liban or the Fomori or the Nafandi selling, I don't know, their friends into slavery, and they think, what the fuck? No, we can't do this. They got all these Ishu pirates going around intercepting slave ships and freeing the slaves, or forming underground railroads in Europe and America, freeing the slaves that way. And behold, you got Harriet Tubman for you.
Fuck
Behold,
yeah.
you want to put Harriet Tubman in
Based.
your game, make her an Ishu.
Yes, based.
That's it. That's how you do it. You got that one picture of her where she looks pissed off at the cameraman. If she knew that was going to be the only picture of her in history, would she have smiled?
Wait, where? Hang on. Let me.
No, you know, whenever you look up Harriet Tubman, she's only got one picture of her.
Yeah, where she's like, leering into the distance, real determined looking.
Yeah. And,
well, I mean, you kind of need to be if you're doing the kind of work she was.
Yeah. What was it? There was talk at one point about putting her on the $20 bill. Something like that.
Yeah, I remember that. I think it was when Obama was still president.
Yeah. Well, Andrew Jackson had a boss moment, but yeah, preferably I'd rather swap out Andrew Jackson with anyone else. See, Industrial Revolution. The low point for a lot of other kith, right? Not so much the issue, because even though everything is getting banal as hell, we've got children working in these sweatshops going blind from mercury exposure. We do have trains and cars and blimps. Cool. We can travel faster. thank you for inventing this kind of stuff. Don't mind if we do hop on a train so we can tell more stories. We'll tell stories on the train, and then when we get off the train. And
Fuck yeah.
as it turns out, the Ojo and the Iku are both completely okay with this. And along the way, they meet with the Knockers. You remember who the Knockers are, right? The Semitic builders. They end up forming a long-lasting bond with the Knockers and are perfectly okay with the Knockers. While everyone else seemingly hates the Knockers for being quote-unquote traitors, it's the Ishu that get them accepted into the rest of Kid society, saying, no, they're not betraying us. They're doing something creative with the banal technology, and it's not banal anymore because they're being creative.
Reverse
And
engineer.
see, it just makes sense like that. It's a matter of perspective. You're not a traitor, you're just doing what we're doing in a different way. And then comes the 20th century, and we know what goes on around this time. World War II, the Holocaust, the hippie movement. It's just a bunch of pain, agony, and misery for years and years, boiling up in the civil rights movement. And it seems that less and less people are really caring about magic because, I don't know, Houston Jakes became a Title I offense to own, and everybody's getting super political. And it looks like Kid Society is going to putter out. I guess this is the end. We better say goodbye to everybody. Oh no, the moon landing happened. And now the She came back. And when the She come back, the issue, all those years of anger and sadness that they've bottled up, it boils over when they see the She again. They walk over to them and say, look, you've been gone for 600 years. We've been keeping Kith Society together for this entire time. You want to come back now, when we're about to die, and act like you're in charge. And the She say, oh, yes, we hear your concerns. We understand your concerns. Would you mind helping voice those concerns at this little event we're holding called the Night of Our Knives? And you know where this goes from here, Kyle.
Yeah, they all try to kill everybody.
Yeah, and behold, the accordance war begins, because the She did not listen to a word the Ishu had to say. And
it's almost like the She kind of fucking suck or something like that.
Yeah, the Ishu try their best. They're trying to be ambassadors. They're trying to be diplomats. And just all their attempts at being reasonable fail with the She. So they become scouts, skirmishers, and assassins. They make progress, but you're up against the She. You're not going to make that much progress against the She. The She are just so astronomically powerful. And it looks... What?
I'm sorry for interrupting, but saying here, yes, every changing breed, well, shit, every changeling is powerful, but the She, there's a reason why in your third edition you use the She as the most powerful version.
They have
Because
the
they
power
are.
over true names. You know, we went over the name breakers in... come on, what's the episode we did? When we were talking about the Henge Yokai. And just knowing a true name and how much power that is. How ridiculously powerful it is.
Indeed.
The She, sadly enough, are actually the strongest of all the changelings. Or the Kiths. I'm sorry, but it is true.
Yeah. And it looked like they were all going to die until High King David Ardry finds the sword Excalibur in a New York subway and demands that the Accordance War ends. And, oh, we finally have a reasonable She. Well, it's like we can finally start voicing our concerns, start getting back on track, and it looked like that was going to happen until High King David seemingly disappears. And now we're at the same kind of spot we are with the Silver Fangs and the Shadow Lords, where it looks like the She are about to do something drastic to keep hold of their power, and on top of that, the Eternal Winter is coming. Do we need to try reigniting the Accordance War to overthrow the She before they kill us all? And that's our cliffhanger with their history. So, behold, that's the issue for you in terms of history. Let's see. Now, shifting gears. Let's rewind the time again. Let's go back to the Puka. All right. So who are the Puka again?
They are shape changers and consummate liars.
Roger
And
Rabbit.
They're all rabbit people.
Howard the Duck.
Wabbit.
So, do you know that the Puka, they claimed that, yeah, we were the ones that made contact with humans first. You know that cave painting in France, the sorcerer, where it's got the half man, half stag? Yeah, that was us. That was I drew myself on that wall. See, I just went back in time with my time powers because I'm a fairy. I can do that, and just made a painting of myself, and that's how I got there. Wonderful. And the Puka
Wow.
just went around back in Sumerian times and ancient Celtic times and ancient Australian times. They were everywhere apparently, and they just went around and inspired humanity's idea of animal gods. There were these funny people that looked like animals that could do these crazy things that no one else could, and just did them out in the public, and were deified because of that. And it took a single Puka called Horus, who is not the same as Mummy the Resurrection's Horus or Werewolf the Apocalypse's Horus. It was a guy who was a half human, half falcon, and he said, "Listen, listen here, guys. I've got the hustle that's going to get us set for life. We are going to go into Egypt, and we're just going to out and out tell people that we are the gods they worship." And they go in, and the hustle works spectacularly. You've got Horus, you got Bast, you got all these other gods going around telling people, "I am the gods you worship. Behold, as I can see the future, and I can just cause pure water to fall from the sky." And they're beloved by all except one guy from Vampire has something to say about that, right?
We don't talk about
Set.
Set.
Zet, who says, "Excuse you, there's only room for one god around here, and that's me." And he kicks all the Puka out of Egypt, kills their friend Osiris, throws his body into the Nile River, and forcibly changes Sobek into a vampire. And all the Puka are waiting around saying, "Is there a hero who can help us? Is there a single hero?" And they hear a voice coming from the Shadow Realm. And it's the voice of Anubis, the guy who oversees the land of the dead in Egypt. And he says, "I got a plan. I have seen this woman, Isis, and she is forming an offensive against Set. You're to go over and you're to help her." And they say, "Sounds good, boss." They meet up with Isis, who is already starting to recruit an army. She sees the Puka. She says, "Oh, cool. Here, you help us." And along with that, they got Thoth and his magic. They got the Striders. They've got some Bonars, the Bubasti, the Makole. We've got an entire army set, ready to fight. And the Puka are some of the first to die in the fight.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not
They were-
great fighters.
Yeah, the Setites knew who to aim for in that fight.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah, one side has rage, the other side has cantrips. I think the cantrips are a little bit more dangerous. And even so, the woman that's using magic can still suffer paradox. But they did help all the same. They did still contribute in Set being overthrown. But after Set disappeared, they tried helping Akhenaten rise and become monotheistic. But, with the Egyptian mythology, that didn't stick. So it looks like our prospects in Egypt have failed because after a while, the Striders get their curse and need to spread across the world. So I guess we'll do the same. Egypt doesn't really feel like home anymore. So, like the Eshu, they start traveling around the world, and as it comes out, they end up meeting with the Eshu and become companions. Wherever the Eshu go, the Puka want to follow them. And you guys know what manzai comedy is? Japanese buddy comedy? Where the way you've got that set up, you've got a guy that's referred to as the straight man, and another guy that's referred to as the fool. Where the straight man will try keeping everything serious and will try telling a story on stage that's meant to be taken serious, and then the fool is just goofing around being the jokester the entire time. That's the kind of dynamic that the Eshu have. The Eshu are the straight man, the Puka's the fool, wherever it comes to their kind of relationship.
Yep.
And sure enough, they spread across the world together.
Hmm.
Sounds like a match made in heaven, right?
Well, yeah.
And they're doing well for themselves up until the Sundering, where, "Oh no, you're calling me a witch and you're coming after me with an iron spear. I don't know what to do about this. Hurry, we need to try figuring out what we're supposed to do about this. You guys in Ireland, what are you guys doing? We're the Fianna, we're the Verbena, we're keeping witchcraft alive. Oh, you're doing this? Here, that benefits us. Here, let's help you out." And they start helping with the Fianna and the Verbena and the Tir na Nog, trying to overthrow imperialistic England around the time. And of course, that fails too. So, shit. Well, banalities just spread across the entirety of Europe. We gotta go to America now. it's a story of running, right? Just whenever the one home falls, you just run over to another home. And they run over to South America, and it seems that we've got a similar thing here, a bunch of animal gods. Behold, we can just slide right back into that role. Everything's going well. Oh no, the shattering. Great. Well, how are we get affected by this? We're not even in Europe for this to affect us. We're in South America, but boom, the shattering still affects you all the same. And eventually they have to figure out the changeling way, that's the only way we're able to survive. They start merging with human bodies like everyone else.
Yep.
Great. Well, we're not as strong as we used to be, but we can still form something in South America, right? Nope. Conquistadors. Great.
Shit. And then the Shadow Lords fuck it up.
So, we got anywhere to hide now? No? Well, crap. I guess we just gotta live in a penalty, guys. And so I do. And if it sounds like I'm going through fast forward with this history, there's not really much to the history with the Puka, in all honesty.
What?
Not much you can really take seriously anyway, because after all, this is the
Liar.
Puka. You can't take anything they say seriously.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Puka, during that time, they fled the banality of Europe to America, came into contact with the native people around about the same time that actually, believe it or not, according to the Eshu notes, the Eshu actually arrived in America long before Leif Erikson did, many of which formed a close-knit relationship with the Nunehi. Meanwhile, the Puka came along a lot later and also came into contact more on the South America side. It's even rumored that Huitzilopochtli himself was a Puka. And, believe it or not, actually disliked human sacrifice compared to some of the other South American native gods at the time.
That is a lie. That is a lie. As I crack this beer.
Yes, it
there
Oh
we
is.
go.
my god,
Ah.
his pants is on fire.
That was Actina that you were trying to ride off the coattails of Great Actina the entire time.
Yeah, they were.
Bro,
but
I don't
it's
think Great Utena's gonna be happy.
probably
Oh, yes,
not.
the
But
Word of
then,
Darkness. Everybody claims that legend figure was theirs.
Yeah, we all know it was Actina.
yeah, but then it says, at least from the Puka book, Huitzilopochtli took to the seas and promised to return, birthing the myth of tall, pale god from the east. And both and then eventually came the
Yeah, he wasn't talking to you, Puka. He was talking to the Actina.
he was.
No, he was talking to the she, obviously, the tall,
Yes.
pale god.
There it is. We're gonna have a taller, paler god, and it's gonna be a werewolf.
And
No,
it's
no,
gonna
he was
be
talking about the
inbred as
Scandinavian.
shit, and it's gonna be a borderline pedo.
There's...
Okay, calm down, you.
Fuck are you
No,
talking
no,
about?
that's
Bro,
the Silver
bro,
Fangs, not the Shadow
Yeah,
Lords.
so- oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's-
I was thinking of Silver
It was
Close
Fangs.
enough.
one fucking camp.
Bro, they're inbred, bro. Fuck them.
And there's a mention in here about Groundhog Day too, where it's not necessarily on Groundhog Day, but the Puka got super involved in environmentalism while they were living in human society, where they basically were the assistants of the Uru Nation. I mean, behold, you might as well just write them into the story of Werewof the Apocalypse. Do you want a changing breed that's not a pharaoh already? Just make it a Puka. That's it. That's all I gotta do. You want the were otters that the Fianna mentioned? Behold, they weren't real. They were Puka the entire time, you schmuck.
I would
And they're still
believe that.
alive.
I would actually believe that.
And nothing really happens with the Puka from here on out. Like, even in the Accordance War, they didn't really have anything to say, so to speak. And yeah, the Beltane Massacre, it happens, and the Puka were involved in it, and not really anything else happens here. Like, I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm skipping a lot of stuff. It really is just changing history as told by the Puka, and the Puka didn't really have anything to majorly affect it. So, you wondering why we're doubling up on the Kith for these episodes? That's why. That's why, because some of the history in these books are more stacked than others. Like the issue had history, the Puka really didn't. But we do get a little mention to a lore character that was the best friend of High King David, one Martin Longclaw, and they were there to hear out High King David with his talks about forming peace between the Kith and the She. And High King David says, "Yeah, Martin, that sounds like a good idea." And then there was peace, and that's really it. Okay. All right, that's enough history. Let's move on. Let's move on to culture. Let's move on to it. All right. Let's see.
If you guys couldn't tell, the Eshu or sort of Middle Eastern origin or Arabian.
You ever play Shantae? You ever play that game?
No, I have not. No.
Wait. Oh, I remember Shantae, the fucking genie chick.
Yeah, and that's what I imagine an Eshu-centered game would look like, where you go around there. It's an entire adventure where everybody's dressed in bed-like clothes and face wrappings. You've got snake people wandering around. You've got all these different fairy powers and fire powers going around. This same thing with, I don't know, I don't want to say Sonic and the Secret Rings. The 101 Arabian Nights, like Aladdin, that kind of stuff. Think of that whenever you think of the Eshu.
Like Prince of Persia or something like that.
Really cool.
Yeah, didn't these guys get their start in Africa? Well, they did, but the Middle East was
where they stomping ground.
Home.
Yeah.
That's where they rose to prominence and rose to power, and what codified them as people. And I like it. I want another fantasy game that's in a more Middle Eastern kind of setting. I really wanted, at some point in D&D, to have a game that took place in Al-Qadim. That was something that I really wanted to play, but I don't think I'm ever going to get that. Because I think everybody's too much too chicken shit to actually run a Middle Eastern fantasy game.
No. You also forget the other people who's trying to look for every minute thing. You can't just have a mythical Middle Eastern setting because there's always going to be those people online saying, no, that's from that distinct culture.
You gotta protect it this way, you gotta protect it that way. And like, I don't care. Let me just have fun.
You don't see European fishermen moaning about that castle isn't German. It's French. You don't hear Europeans fishing.
I don't care about the architecture of that castle. But
actually,
but to form the real culture of the Eshu, there's a few buzzwords I'm gonna list off that are their values, so to speak. They call this one Uhuru. This is freedom, personal freedom. They believe that everyone should have the right to do what they want to do and the freedom to do so. It's saying, I may not agree with what you have to say, but I will defend your right to say it. That's the thing with the Eshu. They're that kind of libertarian, so to speak.
Based kind, actually. Another reason why I want to play the Eshu.
Now, there's some stuff that you shouldn't talk about, like, I don't know, zoophilia or stuff like that, but you can say it. We're not going to kill you for saying it. We're going to tell you you shouldn't, but we're not going to try to censor you or anything like that.
We're not going to try to censor you, dog. We're just going to fucking kill you.
There it is. Behold, we're going to take the burkas and the other scimitar. That's what it's called. What's the name of that sword escaping me?
I don't know. I was going to bust out the gat. Fuck him.
And we'll just cut your head off with it. Second,
he abuses nature's majesty, and we are trained to be nice to nature. I killed the bastard.
There it is. Just go ahead, just cut his head off. Let's see here. Was Saudi Arabia? That's one of the few countries that still has public executions.
Oh my god.
That is true, actually.
You can just kill a man in the street with the scimitar and just get away with it.
Yeah, I distinctly remember watching the last legal hanging in America.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's a black and white video, so relatively you could find someone that's maybe still alive that saw it.
Did you know that Christopher... Go ahead.
Sorry.
I was going to say that, did you know that Christopher Lee actually witnessed the last public execution in English history?
Oh, damn.
Cool.
Yeah.
Was it a hanging or a beheading?
I think it was a hanging. I don't remember.
Yeah. They said he was hung, and they was right.
Not to clarify, we mean legal.
Yeah, like an actual,
It could have been a vigilante.
I don't know. I don't remember the whole story, but Christopher Lee's been a... Matter of fact, Christopher Lee could easily be an Eshu.
There he is.
No, Christopher Lee,
with a voice like that,
played Saruman.
Oh, yeah, but how well he played Saruman and how good of an actor he is too.
Christopher Lee actually has royal bloodline.
He is. He's directly related to Charlemagne.
That's fucking
he was
sick.
Even
not just that. He's
Sorry,
also released he's also released and recorded a metal album.
You got all these white trash people who are looking at pictures of Charlemagne, like saliva leak out the side of their mouths, saying that my ancestor.
He had an opportunity to be married to German royalty, some type of royalty in Europe. He was a legendary figure.
Wasn't he also a war hero or some shit?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He was. I think he was British intelligence during World War II.
Ooh.
And along with that, what's another issue value? Hospitality. If you want to be a guest of my house, I will invite you in. I'll get you the tea ready. I'll get you the good leaves. I'll get a chair set for you. I'm going to be nice to you while you're in my house. They have a personal sense of honor as well, where if you want to be respected, you have to give others respect first. It's not the whole treat others the way you want to be treated. It's if I'm going to expect to be treated well, I need to treat others with respect first. That's how that's their mind. That's how they operate. Next up, Tailcraft. They love telling stories. See, Kyle will now do an impression of Joey Diaz.
First man that ever smoked weed was a Chinese man, but he never smoked it. He would burn the leaves in his hand because he liked the smell of the plant. And every time he would burn the leaves, a bluebird would visit him on a tree, and he told this Chinese man that he should conquer his neighboring neighborhoods. And every time he would burn the pot in his hand, he would visit the little bluebird, and that's what he did. He raised an army, and he attacked his neighborhood. He became a very powerful man. Joe
I'll tell you
Rogan.
what, Joe.
Joe
I'll
Rogan.
tell you what, Joe. Whenever I was doing comedy at the mothership, there was no sleeping, Joe. You want to know why there was no sleeping? There was 8 cups of espresso a day. You know, people always thought I was doing something suspicious with sneaking out the comedy club at 10. I had to get to Starbucks before they closed because Starbucks always closes at 11 around that town. And God forbid I'm not going to have my double white mocha frappuccinos before I go to bed.
Yeah,
Is
I
that-
fucking love Joey. But actually, my alarm clock in the morning is Joey Diaz going, "Get up, cocksucker! It's all over. We had a rough past couple of months. Katrina, the other one, the Gulf of Mexico.
TV is rough for your life.
I fucking
Okay,
love Joey
okay. If
Diaz.
we're talking about the Issue's original one,
Yeah,
the Player's Guide for Changing the Dreaming, 20th edition, they revamped it's Talescraft.
Yeah.
What Tailcraft is, it's basically you tell a tale, and that tale becomes reality.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the latest one so we can continue on.
Yeah,
But the highest level at Tailcraft, you can alter reality.
there it is. You remember seeing the Witches of Eastwick? You make that into a power.
Yeah,
Where-
basically, you
yeah,
can
you-
tell a tale that I have a red car in the back, and a red car will appear in the back.
Yeah, you say a sentence and then it becomes true.
Yes.
Yeah, so be careful what you say; you just might get it. But Tailcraft is an as an art form too, because there's nothing an issue likes more than having a bunch of people gather around them and they tell a story and everyone listens. If you want to do your issue right, there's going to be a scene in your chronicle where they're telling a story, say at a campfire, or say they're at a school setting and they just start telling a kid a story and then a whole bunch of other kids gather around them. Or they're at a bar on New Year's and start telling a story and then everyone at the bar immediately goes into a hush whisper to hear what this issue has to say. They love telling stories. It is their culture. It is their identity. You go out and you tell people what you saw. You say, once upon a time, I saw this, or, the other day I saw this. And everybody listens to you because you are just that talented of a storyteller. If you are playing an issue, I require you, the player, to put at the very least 3 points in charisma whenever you make your character. Preferably 4, but at least 3. Because you want to have everybody listening to what you have to say whenever you speak. That's how you play your issue right. They love talking. That is something the issue love doing the most. What?
Oh shit! I thought I muted myself. I was about to say, also learning. They love to learn, but also tell tales.
Yeah, because they know that if someone's telling a story, you shut up and you listen to the story. That's just good respect. That's just honorable. And we want to know the story too, because we want to, if the story is really good, we can pass it on to someone else and let your story be told to another person. So who was the person who wrote Fight Club? I'm trying to remember
Oh
his
God,
name.
what was his name?
God,
Hold
don't
up,
remember.
I'll get it.
He's got a funny last name.
He's Canadian and a club author. It's the same dude who wrote American Psycho.
Chuck Palahniuk. Palahniuk.
Palahniuk,
how
yeah.
you
Chuck
fuck these-
Palahniuk.
How the fuck do you say this name?
Or Chuck
Alright.
Palahniuk.
But did you ever see his episode where he's talking with Joe Rogan?
I didn't, no. I
Yeah,
haven't watched
him-
Rogan in a while.
Him on Joe Rogan is one of the best episodes he's ever had.
Really?
Because Chuck, when he comes up, you say, "There's no way this dude wrote Fight Club," and then you hear him speaking, and you come to the conclusion, "There's no way this guy didn't write Fight Club. It had to be this guy."
He also wrote
and-
American Psycho, which is even better.
And he comes up on stage and he's telling these stories, and he's a really entertaining storyteller as well. But he says the reason why he tells stories and why he tells other stories that he hears that are of a really dark subject matter is because he wants to break the fear that those stories have over you. He wants you to be comfortable while you talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
So when he's telling stories about little boys who die in car crashes and then they're in autopsies, and then the doctors are talking, saying, "Hey, you see the color of this boy's liver? That's the kind of color I want my bathroom wall to be painted." He's writing it like that because he wants to
He
take
wants
away
to
the
bring light
fear.
to a dark place.
Yeah, take away the fear of that subject. And that ties in with the issue. We want to hear your story and then pass it on to someone else. The reason I bring up Chuck is because some of the stories that he told on the episode of Joe Rogan weren't necessarily his stories, but were stories that were told during workshops that he heard and thought were super interesting, and he would tell Joe Rogan those stories. And now I'm telling those stories to you because of just how interesting they were. And
Yeah.
that's why the issue are really good listeners, because you need to listen out. You might hear something really interesting, and if you're busy or if you're talking, you won't hear it.
Well, no, they got to be the loudest voice in the room. They're going to be, and besides, when they tell a story, they have to captivate. They hate nothing more than being interrupted. If you interrupt an issue, you're gonna get some smack talked about you.
You're going to get your ass beat. You're going to get chicanery used on you.
Yes.
And one more thing with this storytelling, recklessness. Nobody really tunes into news to hear good news.
No.
You want to?
That is true.
Yeah, because nothing's better than a disaster. A disaster is better than nothing. Sometimes you need to stir up something. You need to go out. You need to stir the pot. You need to get something going for people to talk about. You say, "Oh, we're here, and our country, our town, our village sucks, and nothing's going around our way." Well, how about you do something about it? How about instead of just everything being stuck in a lull, the issue goes out there and get something done about it. You go out and you make the story. You go out and you do something stupid, and then you have a problem that you have to fix. That's what you want to do is the issue.
No. And that further goes into the issue's flaws. You want to take this, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, you go into it.
Okay. So you know how you just said the issue are reckless, right?
Yes.
You can go up to an issue and you say, "I dare you to do something stupid," and the issue player has to roll willpower to not do that stupid thing.
Yes. It's as simple as saying, "You know what? Move your pawn in chess so your enemy's queen is right in the range of your king." To jump off this bridge without the bungee cord or the parachute.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, they're very easy to trick soon as you start using "I dare you."
And there it is. Ryan, you ever do a crazy dare lately?
No.
Nope. Well, we need to change that.
True.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie Yes Man?
No.
Oh, I remember that movie. It's a movie where he has to say yes to everything.
Yeah, it's like Jim Carrey goes to a seminar where he's told that in order for you to live a more fulfilling life, you need to say yes to every opportunity that comes your way.
That
And it kind of
sounds
works.
awful.
Yeah. Where it's do you want to pick up a hitchhiker? Yes.
No.
And he picks up the hitchhiker. The hitchhiker uses up his entire phone battery. He runs out of gas on the trip. He ends up having to walk to a gas station. He's thinking, "Oh, this is stupid. This is stupid. Why I do this?" And who's he meet at the gas station? Zoe Deschanel. And he ends up getting her phone number. They talk. They hit off well. And the next day, he goes to a bar that he's been saying no to going into. And behold, she's up on stage live in a band. and then he ends up meeting with her, and they form a loving relationship. And it's all
Imagine-
because you said yes to something.
Imagine talking to people on IRL.
There it is.
The issue believing this whole entire concept is taking chances. Now, that's
Mhm.
one of the reasons why the issue shouldn't be in charge.
Yeah.
I mean, they can work as in charge, but it's because they constantly take gambles and chances that can screw them.
But how boring is my life going to be if I just keep doing the same thing, expecting the safe result? But when my life flashes before my eyes, how interesting is it going to be? Am I going to
Yeah.
sit there and think I had a life well lived, just doing the same thing every day, going to work, getting McDonald's on the way home, going home, watching Stephen Colbert, and that's my everyday, and that's it?
Yeah.
How about I
Now
actually
then-
go out there and I do something that's worth telling people about?
Yeah, let's talk about the boons you get as an issue because we talked about all their trades and things. The issue via 20th, the book, one of their boons is Tailcraft. Blah 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 blah. They get
Yes.
an additional experience point for telling stories
Yes. But
or
hold,
doing something dumb.
yeah, if you are great at role play, this is something that you need to play at least once.
And their first boon is that they can't get lost. They basically come with a permanent sense of direction. Even through magically means, it's very hard to try to trick them.
I wonder if they took North Stars or Totem.
That's basically what they get. You basically have to use magic to get an issue lost. Even then, they can struggle out of it.
Bro, the Ravnos are shit out of luck.
There it is. You can't check
Now
Henry
then-
your way out of this one.
Yeah. Now you guys keep talking. While I try to look for what happens when you take them to the deeper dreamings. What happens to the issue? Because like the troll one, they get more insane the more
Yeah.
faith they kind of get.
Yeah, Kyle, I just saw your Discord flash. Are you back from the bathroom? Nope, he's not back.
Wee
Alright,
wee.
so with the issue, what else do I want to mention with the issue while you're looking for that? Let's talk about the social structure. So I told you to have a divine bloodline with the Oba. That's it really. That's the only real leadership with the. Oh, okay, now Kyle's back.
Yep.
With the
Yay.
issue, you have the Oba, who are the only real leaders of the issue. It's a lot like the Fianna, so to speak, where everyone is seen as a family. Even though you're spread out across the entire world, every issue has heard about every other issue, and you see each other as equals.
Yep.
Because you have this entire society based on hospitality. We're not going to pretend that we're better than you. We're going to hear what you have to say, and we're going to respect what you have to say.
Yes.
And the Oba do call the shots in Cathane society. While there were nothing but the commoner houses, they were the high court, so to speak.
Mhm.
I think the only ones who really matched them in terms of majesty were the trolls, if I'm remembering this right.
Well, I mean,
but-
yeah, the trolls are like, you know, the honorable knights of the kith. So
the
yeah.
Knights of the Round Table. And besides that, every Ojo and Iku in the Ishu respect each other. We're not going to lord anything over you. We're not going to pretend that we're better than anyone else. We love each other as a family, and that's
Hell
your social
yeah.
structure. There is no real central body of leadership beyond the Oba.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. I found the part for the far dreaming.
All right, let's
The
read it.
issue basically come if the issue were to go to the far dream, they have the power to know direction 6 and all that, but they also have the danger sense merit automatically.
Yes.
That's a bullshit. And for the reckless part, they have to give a point of willpower to not take a dare.
Yes.
No, that's funny as shit. I love that.
There it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
If you were to dare one, even if it says this verbatim, if it's unfair or fair, it doesn't matter. They have to spend a willpower point to deny it.
That you have the Puka who comes up with a pistol and hands it to them and says, "I dare you to shoot the tire in that Loomis Fargo truck."
And the issue is in there fighting his inner demons.
Oh my god.
And
Nope, I'm shooting the tires out that truck.
yeah, there it is. Behold, 5 minutes later in the middle of a high-speed chase.
All right, I think I found. Hold on, did I scroll past it?
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. Here's the far deep dreaming version.
Tell us.
In the deep dreaming, they be.
He's looking for it. He's looking for it, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay,
Give him a
that's a little
moment.
bit. Okay, that's a little bit more underwhelming than I thought it was going to be. Basically, for the path one, they know any path near them. Basically, they want to go to a way, they automatically know how to get there.
Which is why when in the deep dreaming and in near dreaming, they're navigators. If you want a guy who's going to be your pathfinder, who's going to be your ferryman through the river Styx, you get an Eshu to lead the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the tailcraft, because that was originally the whole entire thing is in the deep dreaming, when they start telling tales, those tales automatically become real.
See, that's even
Oh,
cooler.
And
But here's the bad thing: they can't turn down challenges no matter how suicidal it is. You tell an Ishu, I dare you to run into that fire, they will automatically do it.
You did not specify for how long.
There you go.
So we'll walk up to it,
Yeah,
put
I
a
wanna
foot
go
in it,
through it.
and then walk back. There you are. They're done. I've outsmarted you. Here, come, give me a real one. Come on.
I bet you won't try to sleep with that dragon, and the Ishu will look at you and say, "You got any lube?"
This is what every bard at D&D wants to do. I'm doing it.
I like the Eshu more than the Puka now.
And
because of how ballsy are, because of how unballsy they are with their actions.
And there's one more thing to bring up with the Puka. Fashion. This is something that the Eshu have as a culture thing. They love putting on the Ritz. You have to dress super fashionably, super stylish if you're an Eshu. You gotta find the most expensive clothes made from the finest silk with these bright colors. They love dressing in warm tones. Red, orange, yellow, sometimes purple. They love to dress in that kind of color. They're pretty much like the Agent Peacock kind of trope. The more flamboyant and flashy your clothing choice, the better.
When you're blue and
And-
don't know where to go, why don't you sit where
Alright,
fashion sits?
I should probably tell you what happens when a Puka go into the deep dreaming.
All right, because they become the animal selves.
No, when a Puka goes into deep dreaming, they basically to transform into a dragon, then a werewolf, then a leviathan, then back to a dragon.
They
At
become
will.
Crazy looking.
And
Speaking of-
they... Oh yeah, and also confidant. You have to spend a willpower point not to tell them every single aspect of your being. You have to just spend a willpower point to basically say, I can't tell you my deepest secrets with just meeting them. And then the final one for their flaw, they lie so hard they can't even tell what's truth and not.
Wow.
And
And you lie so hard that
Speaking
not
of-
even you believe it.
while we're on the subject of Puka, you want to talk about their forms? How there's a rarity system with the Puka?
Right.
Oh yeah, I do remember
you want
that.
me to take care of it? Or
Yeah,
do you guys want to do it?
I got it. I got the chart, but I got the chart right in front of me.
All right.
So this will like ever so slightly modify your stats depending on what kind of animal you are. Where it'll give you a natural weapon depending on like whether or not you're a snake Puka. But do we give a shit about anything else that isn't a mammal? For me listing this off.
I
Yes.
mean, yeah.
All right, so I'll just give short examples with this. It's a game of pick your persona. Let's see what we got. We'll separate the basic bitches from the people that actually have creativity and know what to actually know how to design a character. All right. So your common kits are, say, crows, pigeons, ducks, turkeys, chickens, moles, pigs, sheep, goats, cows, horses, catfish, goldfish, lionfish, cats, just any cat, any dog as well. Mouse, mice, rats, squirrels, chipmunks, skunks, raccoons, hamsters, gerbils, crabs, crayfish, and lobsters are your common kind of kit. These are the kind of Puka that they use the most. Larry the Lobster from SpongeBob.
Observe. Also,
There is.
I think it'd be funny if like a Puka walked in like a food line, went up to the tank where they keep all the lobsters at, and just kind of chilled in there all day.
Yeah,
You know what? That'd actually be kind of fucking genius. Is like, oh well, you need to go sneak into the house of this shit, and he always goes to this food line at this time in order to pick up lobster for his dinner. The Puka disguises himself as a lobster. And then shows up in his kitchen.
you have the lobster Puka
Awesome.
in his partial animal form going up to you and saying, "Hey, little guy, you're a beta male. You're a soy boy. That's what you are.
What the fuck?
Can you even lift? Look at this muscle definition."
Observed.
Um, sir.
After all, isn't the lobster a super muscular animal?
I think it is actually.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm pulling up lobster muscles. I'm pulling this up right now. We're going to fact check ourselves. Yep, it's accurate. It's accurate. Oh, it's almost entirely lean meat.
I fucking love crustaceans.
There it is. Look at those guns, he says.
Yeah, post a picture of the lobster you're looking at.
Let's see. Well, I was looking at Larry the Lobster.
Oh, okay. I'll put a.
Just Google search Larry the Lobster. That's it. Let's get off this lobster tangent. All right, your uncommon puka are penguins, peacocks, cardinals, blue jays, geese, pantherfish, sea bass, Spanish hogfish, yellow hamlets, yellowtails, the moose, deer, mountain goats, bears, muskox, ibexes, turtles, tortoise, lizards, toads, common frogs, salamanders, chimpanzees, koalas, foxes, otters, beavers, hedgehogs, porcupines, sparrow monkeys, and just about any other little monkey out there. Muskrats, armadillos, bats, copperhead, snakes, roller snakes, coral snakes, and grass snakes.
That's not bad.
See, now I've got another idea for a puka, like a puka that pretends to be a bearded dragon and is like the pet of some kid and like comes out whenever like it's had a bad day and shows them how to play tricks on the people that fucked with their day. That'd be great.
I was thinking about like a goofy like snake puka that keeps wanting to make snake puns.
Why do I keep
I
on
can
thinking
do that.
Sanjay and Craig?
Oh, don't
think
be
you're
in a
joking.
hithy fit.
You think you're joking, but 100% abuse that so hard.
Yeah.
Come on, Ryan, give us a snake pun.
Snake pun.
Shit.
I caught him off guard.
You did.
There it
Google, help.
See,
The puka get even rarer.
well,
Shit, hold on.
While it looks up a snake joke, I'll pull up the exotic puka. We have your golden eagles, your owls, your macaws, your greenbacked herons, your woodpeckers, your vultures, toucans, parrots, falcons, hammerhead, just about any shark, giraffes, elephants, zebras, okapi, kangaroos, humpback whales, dolphins, manatees, gorillas, orangutans, bighorn sheep, camels, elks, polar bears, reindeer, caribou, cougars, jaguars, panthers, mountain lions, tigers, leopards, chameleons, thorny devil. I've never heard that animal before. Frilled lizards, geckos, rhesus monkeys, wombats, warthogs, flying squirrels, platypus, baboons, anteaters, cobras, boa constrictors, asp vipers, and adders. So it is. If you have one of those as your persona, we're not going to say anything bad about you.
I'm sorry, guys. I can't come up with a pun. My brain's just too constricted.
No, I
That
get
sound
it.
effect.
Oh, those are
Fuck.
cool. Look at that.
There it is. You motherfucker.
They shoot blood from their eyes.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, I
shit.
remember that.
That was a pun, by the way.
There it is.
Oh.
He stuck it on you.
Yeah, I snuck it on.
Oh, I see. I see.
See, that's a joke, son. I make a lot of those.
That's
Now,
a
Push,
joke,
remember
boss.
correctly,
Yeah,
there's
funny.
another level. Now, Push, remember correctly, there's another level of rarity.
Yeah, the endangered, where these are the really obscure animals, like the bird of paradise, the secretary bird, the superb lyres, the bald-headed eagles, the yellow-bellied sapsucker, the dodos, the passenger pigeons, the cassowaries, the blue-footed booby, the hummingbird, seahorses, octopus, snaggletooth fish, viperfish, great white sharks, pandas, rhinoceros, hippopotamus, narwhals, killer whales, blue whales, sperm whales, walruses, springbuck antelope, crocodiles, alligators, Tasmanian devils, uwakari monkeys, lemurs, and bandicoots. So, well, you owe us a Crash Bandicoot reference after that encounter with the Black Squirrel Dancers.
I want a woodcock, puka like Timberdoodle, you know, meep
There it is.
What?
meep.
There it is.
There,
He's calling for my attention.
how dare you forget about the insect pukas?
The insect, yes, because they're the last kind. This is even rarer than the endangered puka. Now, you remember that little tangent I was talking about with the Ananasi episode, and I mentioned the were insects? This is the closest thing you'll ever get to having another were insect. Where, I'll tell you about them. So, name an insect.
Weevil.
Just any insect.
Weevil.
Spider. Wait, hold on, that's an
Red
arachnid.
ant. Red ant.
See, a red ant. Kyle, what about
I'm a
you?
monarch butterfly.
Oh, what? If I were to be an insect puka?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we're doing.
I'd be a worm.
See, the earthworm Jim.
Yes, I would be
Oh my
Earthworm Jim the
God.
Puka.
He would be
Yes.
the worm.
Yeah,
Oh,
groovy.
yeah, hold on. We can also talk about another aspect about Puka.
My
Puka.
four highly intelligent brains, I'll find a way out of this mess.
I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. Pussy.
Pukas were
Tell us
Pukas
this
that, even though Pukas have a variety, like you explained, a variety of forms, Pukas still like to hang around Pukas with the same type as them. Meaning, I forget exactly, but in one of the Kingdom books, there is a herd of horse Puka.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Okay.
And you have the BoJack Horseman Chronicle after that.
Oh, that's funny.
That's
no.
unseelie as shit, and I would kill him as
Yes.
soon as I saw him. He doesn't deserve to live. Fuck that show.
That show started off so good and got so bad.
It was really, to deviate a little bit, BoJack Horseman was really about talk about depression. Because dear God, that man had depression.
There it is. I got a middle-age crisis and I need to buy a Porsche. Solve all my problems.
No,
Yeah.
watch Smiling Friends. It's a better show.
Speaking of smiling
is.
friends, you want to know how you play your Puka right? Pranks and smiles. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
You
it
know-
was.
Come on, Charlie. I've been turned into a puka. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. I'd be like, I don't know what kind of furry I would be. I like, my always told like my uncle would tell me that furries were gay.
No, Ryan, you get that shit out of here right now.
Yeah, hold on.
What?
Happy
Fuck
Tree Friends.
Happy Tree
Smiling-
Friends with a
Smiling
fucking.
friends, happy
No.
tree friends, they're all the same.
No, that's something entirely
No.
different. Fuck that
No,
show in
what
particular.
Kind of fucking
Put up on screen.
worm
Put up.
pentex.
No, yeah, Happy Tree Friends is a Pentex front. Get that shit out of here. That show is made
Fucking
gorehounds. I don't want to fucking fuck that show.
That show was beautiful.
Oh God.
My sister showed me that show. I didn't last fucking 2 minutes. I was ready to fucking throw myself out a window.
You show this to all your children. Show Happy Tree.
Absolutely not.
I saw this shit when I was a kid. I
After
fucking
Happy Tree
hated
Friends, you need to show them Watership Down, guys.
No.
Watership Down is very tame compared
Show 'em
to
Plague
this.
Dogs.
Both
Oh,
of
Oh,
those are
Plague
fucked.
Dogs is fucking
Yeah,
demented.
Kyle refuses to watch that movie because it freaks him out.
I don't want to. I saw like the first minute of it, and I'm like, even this is just it's hard to
Yeah,
look
very
at.
beginning
that
is
that
fuck.
like disturbed you on a deep level.
Ugh, no, I don't
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, like knowing that was based off a real experiment.
I know that's what's even worse.
And yeah, so with you saying that the Puka want to hang around themselves and have the same animal kits, imagine how lonely the insect Puka are.
The sad thing
God.
is with insect Puka, if they're one of the more beautiful insects, they pretty much become lap pets for the sheep. It even mentioned on the book.
Or targets for the Ananasi to kill.
Bro, just find a slua.
There it is. They'll be fascinated with you. They want to pin you to a wall with giant needles.
Hold on. Look at my look, everyone. I just picked up a butterfly Puka. Look at them.
See, there it is. I'll pin them to the wall and dissect them and find out where the
Okay,
funny
hold
bone
on.
is.
This ain't the shadow court now. You need
Yes.
to calm down.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, or if you're a butterfly, make friends with a pisky.
Exactly. Yeah, the little piskies.
If you're playing 20th edition, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to put every 20th edition Puka into one fairy into one episode.
I won't lie, the Piskies are literally fucking thieves. Even though the book tries to portray them as not
Thieves.
They're thieves.
Yeah, see, they basically live in North Tryon. And that's their entire culture.
Yeah.
And
But
see what else we. So yeah, just
Yeah,
laughter
no,
and smiles with Puka. So you remember Pinkie Pie from My Little Pony Princess of
Oh
Magic?
God. Yeah, we all know her.
Basically that's your Puka. Just with the deception aspect to it. You're doing this for fun, but you're also keeping in mind, you know what? Just because I'm having fun doesn't mean that everyone else is having fun. You want to be the sunshine and smiles to your entire group. So I think that's just simple enough. If you are a jokester at your table where when you're playing sessions and you're the guy that's making the quips and the jokes after encounters, you're playing the Puka, without a
Hold
doubt.
on. I think I found cults of Kith. Let me see what they're called. The leprechauns?
Yeah.
I'm not
Leprechaun.
that short. I'm 5'9".
See, hey,
I'm
everybody see a
5'4".
leprechaun, say yay!
No. They're not short. They're the Irish. They're the real Irish.
Yeah.
Irish Kith.
Why the
I'm
fuck
really
you
Bro,
take
I'm
a play
fucking
Fanny?
5'4".
Yeah,
See, no.
should we pause the episode to watch the Mobile, Alabama leprechaun video again?
No.
I don't know what that is, and I
Could
don't
be a
want to find
crackhead
out.
got hold of wrong stuff
Okay,
and got
okay,
told
but
to go
we're
up
getting
there
off
and play
track.
a leprechaun.
We're
Oh
getting off
my
track.
God.
Let's look at the unique merits they get for each one because we
Yeah,
talked
tell
about the
us
history. Let's talk
tell
about
us
the
what the
mechanics.
Puka merits. Do it.
I don't got any Puka merits. I got the Eshu merits. You
Well,
pulled the
why
Eshu
don't you have the Puka merits?
because I don't have the Puka book on me. I'll look for it right now. You do the
See,
Eshu merits
I
and all
want
their
to tell you
stuff.
what their big flaw is that they lie constantly. You only tell the truth. You only tell 90% of the truth. Everything you say has to have a little bit of falsity into it. So
You have
nobody
to-
can take the Puka seriously when they talk because of that. Is what you're only ever telling me half the information I need, or you're telling me incomplete information. Is what
Yeah,
you're doing with the Puka.
Even though the Puka seem beginner friendly, the player character has to lie constantly, which is
Yes.
sort of hard.
Where even though this is probably the hardest kit to play out of all of them, though,
Yeah.
because you have to be quick to think of how you're gonna lie with your Puka character.
See, in all honesty, my sister's playing a Drow rogue, and she's phenomenal at it. I'd probably say if I ever did a IRL changeling game, I'd make her play a Puka.
I mean, how much of a drow is she? Is she an actual drow or is she the modern drow?
No, well, I mean, she's playing a male Drow who was banished. She's, so,
Okay.
Granted, she was both, a trained assassin and a whore for 600 years, so.
And that's drow culture.
Exactly,
50% of
and
all.
now her Drow character's on the surface, so.
Trying
Trying
to
to
adapt.
Why is that so hot out here? I don't like it. The sun, it hurts.
That's basically him every morning, and he has this black band or this black silk that he wears around his eyes in the morning because it hurts.
I got a
Right.
I got a background flaw for the Puka if you want me to read that off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did command you.
Environmental need, where depending on what kind of animal your Puka is, you need to be in that environment and you start freaking the fuck out. Where if you're playing as your worm Puka, you need to be underground for you to be comfortable. If it's not wet and muddy, you're not happy.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's raining outside. I'm gonna go lay on the driveway.
Yes.
Interesting.
Or there's also a 5-point flaw, hibernation, where if you're an animal that hibernates, guess what? You have to sleep for the entire day of winter.
Well, shit.
Or you can only be up for around. You have to make a willpower roll to wake up after sleeping for a solid 24 hours.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's a fun little flaw with your character, just being a narcoleptic like that.
Yep.
See what
Damn.
else? See what else is that? Also, have we mentioned the sex with the Puka?
They're very horny.
Yes.
Yeah, their furry fandom is roped in with the Puka. They tend to have a lot of sex.
Yeah, I should
there's-
know.
Yeah,
Anyone's just watching the Ark and know.
Yeah, the reason we're not showing Puka pages is because of how sexual some of these get.
What the? Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yep. They get
Where
saucy.
but there was one that was like a cat Puka, like Puka and like gimp leather being pulled back with a chain in one of the pictures.
King already
my
on
God,
eBay looking
BSM.
for second edition Kith book Puka.
Show us your Fur Affinity page.
Now, you fuckers.
Yes.
Anyway, fuck you guys. Hold on. Let's talk about the treasures. Treasures.
See, treasures. All right, what kind of treasure does a Puka have?
Fuck. I'll use a level 3 treasure. Dog tags.
Dog tag. Tell us about the tag. I will pull up some with the issue.
Yeah, this whole entire thing is basically, from my brief summary, you dog tag someone and it basically acts like a tracking device for them. It's I know what it seems a little less, but it's basically you get the dog tag of someone,
Mhm.
and you can find them anywhere theoretically.
Let's see. Good. So, Behold, I lost my Puka. How can I find them? Let's use the dog tag.
That sounds like a kink game. I don't want it. And
There it is. It's the Puka's fault for being so sexy, you know?
So you got a tracking device for your girlfriend? Maybe.
okay,
There it is. The obsessed girlfriend meme. It's been a
Mhm.
while since we've seen one of those pictures.
yeesh.
And
Oh come on!
what? What are you looking at?
Well, I'm looking at the level 5 choker. I mean the level 5 treasure. A wonder of a kind butterfly choker.
So
That's
there it
funny
is.
as shit.
See, you can't skip the sex. You can't
Why
skip
do I
it.
think of some goth baddie wearing that?
Because they always do, obviously.
Yeah, it's not as sexy as
Well-
you think it is.
Well,
Yeah.
this choker grants you the ability to fly, so
I don't know.
Cool.
Chokers do kind of go hard, though.
Yeah, I do
Well,
wanna I
beggars
do wanna
can't be
fly.
choosers.
Yes. So it is. Oh no, that's not the thing. I'm looking at the issue characters, the pre-made ones.
All right. Now then, let's seeing as we're done with that, let's jump over to.
Well, I need to read. I need to read an issue treasure.
All right, go on. Give me the issues, treasures.
Let's see, I'm pulling up the merits and flaws. I'm flipping through the issue book as I speak. Let's see here. I got a page for you. Do you want the long one or the short one?
Give me the long one. I've been talking lately.
All right. See, we got the Chezerade's Circle. It is a unique treasure. Actually, a floating freehold rather than a true treasure. The circle tends to come where it goes as it pleases. Sometimes it will stay in one place for years or decades, then disappear for another dozen years, only to reappear halfway around the world, as if it has always been there. It is a circle that will fly around, and you stand in the circle. And what does the circle do for you mechanically? Looking at this, you will receive an automatic access to all performances or persuasion rolls related to the tail as long as you're standing in the circle. All uses of tailcraft art receives a free success as well. The circle is a powerful force with harmony and unity. Anyone who tells a tale appropriate to her kith automatically refreshes her willpower rating. Ooh. As the sense of the tradition of the circle reaffirms her faith in her lineage, all social roles related to friendship or empathy are made at -2 difficulty. Finally, it becomes difficult to resort to any kind of violence while within the circle, even harsh language. A character who wishes to do so must roll difficulty 8 willpower roll. So behold, is this circle where I'm also guessing the size of it changes as well. That will just fly around and you stand in the circle, and behold, it makes you even better than you already were at being an issue. So
It's basically a personal magic stage that teleports.
see, behold.
All right. If you're gonna read that one, I'm gonna read the Blessed Opa. Opa.
See, tell us about the Opa.
Because someone forgot to upload images of the Ishu. The Ishu don't use swords actually. They use staffs to fight.
Like the Children of Gaia do.
Yeah.
You
it's
know,
basi-
Vic also fights with a staff too.
I thought he fought with a box cutter.
That too. He attaches the box cutter to like this metal pipe that he found in a construction.
It's the ghetto scimitar.
zone one night.
Yeah. Yeah. To put it,
He has a
basically,
very
it's a
meth head
Us
way
about
of
clave is
weaponry.
Yeah, hang on. My fucking internet just shut itself.
less
Let you know.
Opa from rank
Yeah, my internet's fucking
three
itself.
to rank
Well,
treasure.
eyes. Just
Can you hear me?
My internet's clipping
Ah,
in and
shit.
out. I don't know
That's
what's
so
going
good.
on. Give me a
It's not,
sec.
it's not yours.
Alright. Try.
Say that.
Let me check my router. See what's going on.
Shit,
Where?
everyone.
Well, now we all sit in silence.
Oh,
It's
we're all
weird.
fucked up. Hang on.
Right.
Device. Let me see.
Great.
My
Great.
connection
Alpha.
thing.
My analytics.
Yes, we're going to have to go into YouTube editor and cut this out later.
No, I could do it. Okay, no, we're
We're
good.
not doing
Yep,
it.
it was just a little hiccup. We're good.
All right. All right. So,
Cool.
all right, what were you saying this time?
I was
Is-
about to say, the Opa is basically what a clave is to werewolves.
Just cold iron.
Ah, fuck.
No.
Yes.
It's basically how I describe this. It's a sacred weapon because
Smell a
it
little,
can even
smell a little bit
come
of beer
with-
on my lap.
Yeah,
You
that
were saying?
sucks. Was it Miller Lite?
And now it's course.
The course banquet's
Ah,
actually kind of good though.
Corona. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Corona's pissed. Fuck Corona.
See, as long as you ain't got that Rona.
Yeah, but
You want to talk about
Oh,
relationships?
nah.
Yes, I can
You
talk
want to talk about
about.
relationships, Kyle?
Yes, would you like me to start with the Eshu or the Puka?
I got the Puka
Issue.
covered. You do the issue.
Okay, so the Eshu, quite a bit to go over with the number of the Kithian, but we are going to start with. Let me grab my notebook real quick. Starting from the top, of
He
course,
wrote
we
it down.
have the Boggans, which I think, yeah, there we are. The Boggans, or as the Eshu call them, the Orisha Oko, or little folk as it translates to. It's a common misconception that the Eshu don't like the Boggans. It's actually not true. I mean, somebody needs to tend to the hearth fires. Although the Eshu do find it incredibly hard to understand how they're so happy with a domesticated life, but thankfully, the Eshu do recognize the true value of hospitality, and because of the Boggan's sedentary nature, it makes them an excellent audience for all the tales that they spin. And a good story will, keep them entranced for hours and allow the Boggans to provide them much more hospitality. Nothing wrong with, a warm meal and a warm fire along a long open road, But something about
Right.
their complacency and their love of material comfort is a little bit disturbing to the Eshu. Either way, show them you mean no harm, tell them, a long-winded story, and you'll have a nice friend for the evening. And because we are...
Cool.
What's up?
Cool.
Okay. Because I have a 20th edition or 20th anniversary book, the Clericon and the Pisky are in this book as well. They're kind of lumped together, but the Eshu find that both the Clericon and Pisky are long-lost cousins of the, well, not cousins, but twin brothers, both followers of the Elegbara, or Elegbara,
Yep.
sorry.
Yes.
Because Pusher forgot when he was making the creation story, there were 3 siblings, and this is the 2 other siblings.
What?
hmm
All right, I'll
So,
continue. I just want to bust
the-
it.
Continue.
Clericon are said to have traveled further than the Eshu, especially up to the northwest, and consider them a far cousin. The Clericon are sort of the older twin of the Eshu. They're taller, they're fairer in complexion, and very wise in history and performance, even to an extent more so than the Eshu themselves. The Piske, or the Kinde, as they refer, are younger, and they are small and they're quick. They likewise inherited the love of challenges that the Eshu did. For both, it's a deep connection to the hearts of those they meet, though many of them fail to see the family resemblance, but both of them tend to keep as excellent traveling companions. Moving on from that, we have the Giledu, or Iroko. These are few and far between. They remain on the Isle of the Mighty, and it takes a lot of doing, but some Eshu have managed to coax them into telling the strangest and most wonderful stories. They exist behind the eyes of animals and plants. They protect wild places, and with the rise of cities, have suffered greatly. Do not approach a Giledu directly. Come quietly with your palms up and show that you mean no harm, and just wait. They will decide when they are ready to, accept you and tell your stories. I actually haven't heard anything about the Giledu until this book, so I think that's another.
They're freakazoids. Don't worry about it.
That's fair.
God,
Next.
that was
Don't
such
you
a good show.
Yeah.
Freakazoid?
Yeah.
I never watched Freakazoid.
See,
Hey.
if you're so worried about the Gile dude, let me pull up what they look like.
Yeah. Show me just so I know, because
Alright, so they're big angry men out in the woods with big beards and big hair, and they look a little something like this.
Bears.
Yeah, if I
Bears.
remember correctly, to go in a little brief moment, these changelings are basically the cycle itself.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Because if I remember correctly, they were young. They're old during winter. They're babies during spring. They're adults during no, they're young adults during summer, and they're adults during fall. I got that mixed up.
And there are a bunch of like weird hermits that live out in the woods. From what I remember.
They're literally the changelings of literally force itself.
They're like Gandalf's fucking cousin that they had in the new Hobbit trilogy.
Yeah.
They are literally the Sphinx riddle. What is 4 legs during morning, two legs during day, and 3 legs during night? Man.
Yeah,
Yep.
here's another picture of them. They're like red talons, so to speak. If you're
Sorry.
compared to most
the
of the
Red Talons would
changelings.
love these guys.
Yeah. Well, you look like a human, but you don't smell like a human.
Exactly. Smells like nature. Anyway.
You smell like a pine freshener.
Oh yeah, the okay.
Impossible.
Now the name makes more sense. A gilly. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me turn down Vic a little bit more. So we've got.
Sorry.
It's all good. After that, we've got the Knockers, or the Olakuta, people of stone, the Masons. Much like their patron's element, are tough, inflexible, and possessed of a somewhat dark nature, but their forms and uses are quite endless. Their forms and uses are endless, and they form a great deal of the foundation the rest of the Kithian depend on. They take the regular stone and some sweat and some cursing and some hard work and make it into something far greater than the sum of its parts, much like the dreaming itself. Keep an ear out for their inspired profanity. Even the Eshu respect the gift for words when it comes to insults. No one knows how to curse until he spends time with the Olakuta. When it comes to dealing with them, learn enough about their particular talents to praise them intelligently. Their pride in their work never diminishes, so do not criticize them too closely because, you might be ejected from their life forever in the aftermath.
Yes. It is.
Know what you're talking.
I can't play 18 plus videos on my phone off of Reddit. There's one video I'm thinking about that is like perfect knocker cussing, but I can't play it through the microphone.
Just listen to the cuss word song by Rusty Cage and you'll get it.
Yeah, it's.
See, I swear enough to be a knocker. I swear a lot, especially when I'm at work.
Holy shit, my dude! Looks like we all are bad gamers.
Not swearing.
Wait, what happened?
Because we forgot about one particular type of puka, turtle puka.
Yeah.
No, Johnny said
mentioned the
turtle
turtles.
Puka.
Turtle.
Yeah.
You did? Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
There's another day I'm not swearing.
yeah, that's fair. Speaking of the Puka, or the Ijapa, as they call them, turtles, sly folk. So they love the Puka. Matching wits with members of the tribe is one of the greatest of pleasures. Their love for wordplay nearly equals that of the Eshu, and they're the least likely of all Kithian to hold their tricks against them. Their animal forms allow them to travel in ways that even the Eshu envy, and their curiosity makes them natural companions. More than one motley has been saved from madness by well-timed jokes of the Ijapa, and even more have been coaxed back into the path of the Uhuru by a trickster who taught them to laugh once again. Aside from the Jakut, they are also the least likely to complain when the path becomes rough. Those who need to find themselves to win a place in a Puka's home, you need to have riddles, jokes, and gossip, and then you're good all night long. They're up there with the Ulo Igbo, right behind, the Piske and the Clerican. They make for great travel companions, but over time, their incessant lying starts to tire them a little bit, and their fascination with embellishment leads them to be interrupted. Do not interrupt an issue.
Mm-hmm.
On the opposite side of the coin, someone that they absolutely hate, the Red Caps, or the Ashoy, the Shark Teeth, as they call them.
Nobody likes the red caps.
I mean, I liked them.
Well,
They're
except
fun. I
Yeah.
like them. But anyway,
Yeah, I was about to...
as the book. Oh, sorry. What's up, Vic?
I was about to say words out of my mouth.
Oh yeah.
Person title.
Well, I mean, Tyler's not Kith, so he doesn't count.
Yes.
Anyway,
Ah,
so I'll quote the book verbatim for this. A savage pack of bastards who care only for tales of violence and the gory epics of old. They respect the refusal to lie down and, not let civilization and progress tie them down to anything, but the constant barrage of abuse and violence is, absolutely tiresome. But good luck trying to spend a night in their house without that. You probably won't want to do that more than once unless it's absolutely desperate. They have no sense of honor or dignity and exploit all those who do. If a particularly drunk or rowdy pack getting in their heads to hunt an Eshu, if you even suspect that is the case wherever you're at, just fucking book it. Get the fuck out of there right now.
Rest assured, they will tear you apart. They will tear you apart and devour you.
Yes, they will.
The Red Caps are really cutting the line there between being Thailand over there. They're really cutting that line close.
Just a little bit. And then we have satyrs, or Olo Igbo, the wild men. They consider the goat-legged Olo Igbo the only other common Kithium worth half a damn out on the open road. They seem to embody Uhuru incarnate. Too often, the Eshu can only watch helplessly as they manacle themselves with addiction and indulgence. A lot of people don't seem to understand that, it's not enough to simply thumb one's nose at society. True freedom is the will and dignity to follow your own path, which to an extent the satyrs do until they get so wound up in addiction and indulgence they can't see straight. Despite that, they are hardy, intelligent, and very quick to forgive. They love music and dance. If you intend to find a home with them for a night, teach them new songs or new dances, and always have stories for them. They'll keep you up half the night practicing it, but that has rewards of its own. They love the Olu Igbo, and then they seldom have problems with the migratory habits. They don't care if they show up for a night or a week or so and then leave for months on end. Of course, the open road gets very, very lonely, and the Ulu are very quick to help them if things do get lonely. The Ishu really like them. But, yes.
Sweet guys, right?
Yeah, sure. Fantastic. Another one that they don't have a whole lot to say about, the Selkies, the Olokun, people of the waves. Like the Iroko, with whom they share the Isle of Mighty, they test even the Ishu in finding them. They find their accounts of undersea life fascinating, and those with a love of seafaring sometimes find friendships with the Fae while traveling the ocean, but that's about the extent of what they know about them. They're pleasant enough to be around and, boon companions a boon companion away from land, but that's about all there is to know about them. And the Shi, sometimes referred to as Itiri, or long ears. Shut the fuck up, knife ear. In short, fuck the Shi. Fuck the Shi with a fucking cold iron dagger. Fuck them.
Yeah, all the worst aspects of the Lord of the Rings elves boils over into the Shi.
Yes. They abandon the world in its hour of need, and not even the most wicked of the Ishu want to speak about them. And they are forever trying to fill the void left by the absence of their Orisha. They're the jealous children that deny the Ishu's noble birthright. Do not hesitate to return their slights. You do the Ishu proud with every act of revenge. However, there are a handful of Shi worthy of respect. Those are the Wandering Skathak. They remained while others fled to Arcadia during the Shattering. If you happen to come across a Shi who is a Skathak, treat them well. As for any others, they'll be occasionally friendly, but always remember the injustice wrought upon their ancestors, the Ishu. And then...
The Ishu are so petty.
They're what?
They're very petty about the slights that the Shi have given to them.
Well, I mean, put dick bag in, get dick bag out. If you're going to be a petty bastard, you get petty bastard back.
I'm not pretending like the Shi weren't petty themselves. I'm just saying the Ishu are real petty. They're not hiding it one bit.
No,
Well,
like I
shit, what
said, you
comes
put
around
petty
goes
in, you get petty out.
Anyway, sorry for interrupting.
Yes, it's all good.
Oh, you're fine.
The Slua, they're the Sumpono, as they're called, the stricken. They have a lot of pity for the blighted Sumpono. The diseases of the world have twisted their frail forms into shameful shapes. Such is the price they pay for coming from the nightmares of the world, and many bear the burden they're cursed with a strange but undeniable dignity. They're forced into hiding by their very natures. They delight in the stories of the worlds beyond, the sewers and crypts, and it's easy to learn some important lessons from them simply by exchanging a few tales of your travels for some choice bits of local blackmail or gossip. They place a lot of emphasis on tradition and etiquette. If you want to sit down and speak, you need to learn the customs well beforehand, or you'll be excluded from their more elite circles. If you receive an invitation, find something fashionable but not ostentatious, keep your voice down as to not speak over them, and come prepared to trade a lot of lore. They also put a lot of great stock in discretion, and their information stretches nearly as far as the issues. If you betray the trust of a Slua, don't ever expect to hear from them ever again. They're very similar. The Slua are very much like the Nosferatu of Kithian society. And, the Ishu, as the travelers, I'm trying to think of like an analog for the Ishu. Like, as far as vampires go, if the Slua are the Nosferatu. The what?
Ravnos.
Yeah, very much like the
yeah,
Ravnos. So
Yeah.
I was going to say Gangrel, but no, not at all.
Yes.
No,
They're not violent enough
that's
to
a
be
whole
Gangrel.
one.
Anyway, the trolls, the Jakuta, or the stone giants as they're referred. It's a sad history with the trolls. The trolls never seem to realize that they seem to hold a lot of the same values as the Ojo brothers and sisters. And all they see in them is their inability to stay in one place and their reluctance to bind themselves with the kinds of oaths that are the trolls' lifeblood. And they mistake these traits for shiftlessness and untrustworthiness. Of course, the exploits of the Iku relatives do little to improve the vision of us, but it's seldom pleasant to meet the local Jakuta in a town still recovering from an Iku drifter passing through. Most subscribe to the ideas, well, you've seen one issue, you've seen all of them, and then just label them as troublemakers. Worse yet, they're sometimes trained to tune them out when they speak in order to avoid, quote, falling prey to an Ishu's silver tongue. On the other hand, if a Jakuta has had some positive contact and has moved past the scene one, seen them all, it works in their favor. You find a Jakuta in town as fast as possible, and you won't find a better friend in like 50 square miles, so long as you're in that town for a minute. And then,
Don't lie to a troll.
yes.
Don't. They take honor super seriously. You don't want to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's
That's-
like saying to the IRS that you have money under the table.
Yeah, it's like that Facebook post of like, hello, Department of Commerce, how do I report somebody making something under the table? You shut the fuck up is how.
Kyle,
What?
the memes page.
The what?
What
the fuck is that?
What is
Put on the
this thing?
screen. Put on the screen.
What the
Oh, wait.
fuck?
Wait, the one you just sent?
Who's this? Who's this fucking? Hi, my name is John. Fucking head ass.
What are you talking
you
about?
know
What
this-
Ryan sent or what you sent?
No, what Ryan sent.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking-
Something stylish but not ostentatious.
The general
my
memes
God.
page.
You should get the Super Ryan.
I was planning on it.
Oh,
And then I
hell
was
yeah.
like, you know what? No.
That's
It's
phenomenal.
So fucking stupid. His face, bruh.
I love
I
that.
know it's a stock photo.
It almost looks photoshopped. It's phenomenal.
Oh my
No.
God.
No, that's vile.
As a stylish stoop. I'm not even joking.
I
You're looking at
googled
the-
bad suits and I was
picture.
like, this is the
Oh
one.
my God.
Hmm
Kyle, you're like,
Ryan,
Kyle,
why?
you're looking at the wrong picture.
Ryan, how
Oh
dare
wait,
you post
do
that?
you mean the one where Donald Trump is handing Pepe the frog fucking?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the ranch with the salted peanuts.
What?
What the fuck? Oh, that no, that's something else. We interrupt this regularly scheduled episode of Changeling the Dreaming to bring you the random shit we put in our Discord server.
There it is.
Yeah,
sir.
pretty much.
Okay, we
God
need this here to
fucking
break up.
Damn it.
We got this here because I have no segue for the Puka relationships. Okay, let's get into it.
I mean, so you don't want me to do like the Inanime and the Nunehi?
No.
God, I didn't know
Okay.
you worked at McDonald's.
All right.
Sir, this is a McDonald's.
It's because when are you going to encounter the Ninenti and the Inanime interchanging game?
If you're in
Okay, okay.
Appalachia, like you guys
Yeah,
are
well-
now.
Yeah, well, post in the comments down below if you have a changing game taking place in Appalachia.
I mean,
Oh,
quite
shit.
literally, the Rage Across
Cool.
Appalachia book has like a subsection for Changeling.
It is. It's a half changing book. It's a half werewolf book. When was the last time anyone actually used an Ninenti in their games?
When's the
I'm
last
not gonna
time
lie,
somebody
many people
hosted a
don't-
fucking, Changeling the Dreaming game?
Talk about the World of Darkness as a whole. Not many people touch Changeling, and it saddens me.
Yeah.
They're so
I
full of
agree.
This is fundamentally the best game in the entirety of World of Darkness.
Yeah,
Changeling. The Dream is the best game.
I am really sad I didn't get into that Changeling game that some of my friends at work were hosting.
Let's see. Well, it's time to run your own.
Yeah, I guess it is.
We have proven that you can storytell. You know how to do it.
No
I mean,
chance.
given how I like a more upbeat story, I probably would be well cut out for a Changeling game.
I'm telling you, the Smiling Friends Changeling game is so easy to make. It's
Hold
so easy to
on.
make. The Chronicle will write itself.
Wait,
Hold on.
is the boss a Malkavian?
Wait,
Maybe.
wait.
What?
Everyone. There is a bloodlines within the issue book.
I beg your
What?
pardon?
The Oba.
If you go back to there is playing for different tribes of Ishu.
Yeah, you got the Oba and the Aitu. That's right.
Yeah.
Let's go
I did
into
not see this.
let's go into the Puka.
Sorry, continue.
Yes. Talk about the
Alright.
Puka relationships.
So the Puka to them the Boggins. This is your sweet old man. This is your granddad. He's nice. Whenever you want him to help you out with a project, he's cool. But rarely does he ever leave the workshop. He's a
Mhm.
little bland at times. Sure,
Yeah.
they associate work with play, but what's the saying from Shining? All work, no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Yes.
So they like him. They really do like the Boggins, but you're not gonna hang around a Boggin the entire day.
Yeah.
If you're a Puka, that ain't gonna happen.
You'll probably stop by for a minute. They do
See.
like the fact that the Boggins do respect animals quite a bit. And the Boggins sometimes treat the Puka unkindly because of that nature, but aside from that, they'll usually respect them unless it's an unseelie.
The Puka and the Ishu, these guys are almost kin by this
Yes.
point. The Puka see absolutely nothing wrong with the Ishu. There's not even a compliment sandwich, so to speak, with the Ishu here. They got nothing bad to say about these guys. Where nothing is going to entertain a Puka more than a good story. So if an Ishu's in town, they're very happy. Very happy when an Ishu's in town. They'll clap their big baby feet together whenever they see an Ishu.
They'll meet up at the bar, grab a couple of drinks, and talk for hours and hours and hours.
It's like Walter seeing a fire truck. It's just gonna make him very happy.
Walter
let's see.
Clemens.
Yeah, knockers. No. A Puka and a knocker are not going to get along at all. A knocker just wants to spend all day in the workshop with a welding mask and a blowtorch.
Yep.
No, this is not fun. But they're very easy to prank, though. I don't know. Maybe the cigarettes like to smoke, just swap it out with a firework, or maybe sabotage some of their equipment. They're very easy to prank, these knockers. And seeing them freak out is really funny.
Well, usually, the Puka detest their affinity for machines and are usually very suspicious of them. The Seelie will tend to avoid them altogether. The Unseelie are the ones that directly attempt sabotage.
Let's see. The satyrs, yes. The Seelie Puka want to get in bed with the satyrs in the literal sense. They're very fun. They like to party. They like to drink. They're highly emotional. They have their hearts on their sleeves. Stuff that the Puka find very relatable and very entertaining and very admirable. Whenever a satyr's in town, like the Ishu, they always want to get along with the satyr. The Unseelie feel the same way, but there is a little bit of tension between the two. They like the pursuit of the satyr's passions, but they don't like this whole love and kiss and happiness and sex and that kind of shit. They rather see the satyr girl and cause misery than make love, so to speak.
Yep.
Puka and Redcaps, no, not at all, not
Yep.
at all, not happening. As Seelie or Unseelie, they absolutely abhor the Redcaps. The minute they see one, get away from it.
Yep.
Don't even try to prank it.
I think I recall from one of the books, I don't remember which one, the Sealy said, "Hey, you see that red cap over here? Hand him this bomb and then find a troll to hide behind."
Dun, 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 dun. And then the bomb goes off.
That's all, folks.
And the Unseelie Puka, they appreciate the violence. They're not going to get in bed with them anytime soon.
No.
The She, they do covet the whole nobility kind of aspect. They do abhor. It bothers them that the She have the attention of everybody and they don't. But the Puka have to work for it because they wish they could. Puka could just walk into the room and command the scene the same way as she can. They find it a little bit difficult to forgive and forget after the Night of Iron Knives, and they retaliate with the Beltane Massacre. And yeah, they know that you're the boss, that you're in charge, but that doesn't mean they need to respect you. If you want to be respected, you need to have respectable qualities, so to speak. So, yeah, they see them the same way the Ravenous would see the Ventrue or the La Sombra.
Oh, just hang around, nab a couple of cool-looking trinkets and then book it.
Yep.
See, the Slua. Well, the Slua don't ever go out into Puka territory. This Puka like being out in the woods, running around naked. The Slua don't do that. They want to live in a sewer. And whenever they do meet, the Slua smell of decay, and they collect bugs, and they eat the bugs, and they cast curses and hexes, and it's not their scene.
It
Even
isn't.
the Unseelie Slua, it's just not what they're into.
They don't dislike the Slua, it's just they don't have anything in common. The only time they get along is if you happen to be an insect Puka because the Slua like spiders.
And then the Trolls, they're cool. The City Puka do like the Trolls. They like your big bulging muscles. You're fun to hang off the arms of. You're very honorable. You're very noble. You're very easy to to prank, and you're never going to get too mad at us when we prank you. The Unseelie, don't even bother with them. Like, they're not even worth pranking. Just go ahead, just pass them by.
Well, to be fair, the Trolls don't really care about Puka or interact with him because of the constant pranking and the lies.
It's the whole, honor, Bushido, Knight's Code. I must do the honorable thing. I must do the strongman thing. And the Puka say, that's cool, buddy. You go off and do it on your own.
Yeah, right.
basically.
Then watch as I throw you out that window.
Yeah. And I'm going to piss some people off. Let's go ahead. Let's just skip the anime and the Nin Heat. Let's go into the other spots, the vampires.
Okay.
All right. So what do the Ishu have to say about the vampires?
So when it comes
Scary.
to the vampires, let me see. They cannot put aside their hunger for life. The foul monsters infest most large cities like flies on a corpse. They grow fat off the death and misery of others. Thankfully, most can't perceive an Ishu for what they are. And those that can don't want to move far enough away from the city to find out about them. That's about all they have to say about them.
See, with the Puka, it's crazy that they exist in the Puka. That these blood-sucking monsters that lose their souls and their spirit. No, they keep their soul, they lose their spirits. Or just out there walking among them. It's crazy to want to check them out. But, keep your distance. This is a blood-sucking monster, after all, that can destroy the changing side of them. They believe that they were made from nightmares of mortals, so to speak. And many of them will just wreak banality, especially clans like Clan Ventrue that just live off of boring
Bureaucracy.
crap. Yeah, that no Puka ever wants to interact with. So they're interesting, they're fascinating, they make for cool stories. Don't interact with them though. Just the minute you find out there's a vampire, just get away from it.
Trust me, lass, I don't like what I am either.
Honestly, I can't really blame them.
Yeah, I think we did that during the original Puka episode where Freddy was like trying to convince Gurney that, his dad wasn't a bad guy.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't know.
it's
I
good
like
that one
I like me the way I
interesting
am.
fact
Yep.
about changelings and vampires. When vampires drink changeling blood, that is a drug trip.
You
It
get so
is.
high you don't come back down.
Yeah, you do, and then you're just hopelessly addicted to changeling vitae.
You
That's
If
not
I remember
good.
correctly, if you botch the willpower roll, you gain a permanent derangement.
Yeah, it's rough.
there it is. You get all loopy. You end up talking like a Malkavian if you're not a Malkavian.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
wanna
pretty
imagine.
much. And that's the worst way to become literal heroin.
There it is.
It is.
You got so high on ayahuasca it never left your system.
Remember, I did
Anyway,
this to
yeah.
me.
Dude,
I'm only sticking with my weed, and that's it.
tell me about the werewolves.
Yes, the Garo. Oh wait, no, that's Puka notes. Never mind. Where the fuck are they? Shape changers.
If you want me to do the Puka first, I can do it.
No, I've got the issue notes right here. So the issue of they don't have a whole lot to say about them. They call them bait or beast people. They share many common ancestral ties, but majority of the ones they know are very violent and angry. If you know anything about the Red Caps as well, they're not a huge fan of violence or anger. However, they do respect their love of the wilds and the respect for the spirit kingdoms. They particularly have a kinship with the Silent Striders. Their love of the long open road, storytelling ability, and reserved manners have allowed them to cultivate a friendship with them. But do keep in mind that even the most passive a shape changer harbors a killing rage, so mind which way you toss your insults.
But the Puka, they have one major thing in common with the werewolves. Their anger at destruction of the world's animals. They are fully on board with some groups like, say, the Mother's Fundamentalists that want to chase everyone out of our land and just return it to a wild spot. Probably not the human genocide part because they need humans for glamour, but yeah, if a place is pretty, if a place is natural, just go ahead, just stay out of it. Just don't spoil the nature. The Silly Puka it's a little cringy how they're dealing with their enemies. I mean, you've got groups like the Geth Fenris, you've got groups like the Red Talons who just go around and massacre everybody. Yeah, they're not entirely on board with all this violence, but the Unseelie, go ahead. Go ahead. Cuts their heads off, throw their intestines over a tree or a branch. Just go ahead and do it. The bloodier, the better.
Staple their nut sacks to a wall.
They might as well
your
be
nuts
canceled.
on a dresser, just your nuts laying on a fucking dresser. And bang, this shit was a spike fucking bat. What's a blah?
They might as well be allies of the urination by this point.
Yeah.
See, give me the mage. What about the mage?
Yes, the mages. They believe that, or as they refer to them, Abahunse. From the earliest days, there have been humans that have envied the power of Edagabara and the other Orishas and what they had. And in their envy, mortals sought the secret names of things that they might share some of the power of the gods. Some came to the Orishas and beseeched them for knowledge, offering them obedience in return for knowledge. Others spent time studying by themselves in an attempt to puzzle out the smallest mysteries of the Obatala for themselves, and others went insane from the pursuits of power and in their madness learned how to unravel the world around them. Still others made pacts with dark spirits and wicked Orishas to gain the magic that they seek. They cannot trust under any circumstances the Arahunse to this day. There is no sure way to tell which ones have earned their power through their personal courage or benevolent service, and which have made sinister bargains or just gone completely insane. Do not reveal yourself to a wizard unless you absolutely have to. And always remember that mortals were never meant to wield the powers that these beings do, because only bad can come of it.
Yeah. Same thing with the Puka on their end, because they're happy that mages exist. They're happy that they're fighting banality. But they know if they approach a mage, it's going to kill them. Just go ahead. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
At the end of the day, no matter how much bullshit the mages have done to each other, they're all just human. Humans plus with an extra amount of pluses, but still human fundamentally.
Yes.
And then lastly, the Wraiths.
Yes, so Wraiths. the ghosts, the Abiku, or the unseen as they're referred. It's a small wonder why that many mortals die unhappily, and many of them lament their lost lives and spend their eternal life tormenting the living. If you do happen across a ghost, be kind and remember that they seek nothing more than to right the wrongs of their past life or attend to a lover not yet joined with them. Doesn't make them any less scary, and should you offend one, I hope that you're strong enough to withstand the amount of torture that they can put you through. Remember, they have very little to lose either way. Further still, there is another thing that you can do. You can find a path that takes you to the dwelling place of the Abiku. Never choose to follow one lightly. Issues chosen are creatures of life and energy, and the Abiku sees them with very hungry eyes. Entering their land is a huge risk, even for the Ishu, and many who do never return, or if they do, come back hollow of spirit.
With the Puka, they're happy that rates exist. They think that rates existing will help generate nightmares or dreams of the afterlife. It's good you exist, but the Puka don't really have a use for them beyond them just going around and just causing chaos.
Yeah,
And that's it, really.
basically.
So, Shane just posted a relatable meme.
Oh, wait, what did Shannon... Hang on, let me see.
Me looking intently at the menu, I'm getting chicken tenders again.
Chicken tenders.
Bro, I've been there, bro. There's a bar
How
I
many
go
times
to.
do you order the same thing off of the Applebee's menu?
I actually haven't been to Applebee's in years.
See, how
Yeah,
about
me
Shirley's?
See, like,
I haven't
I
been
don't
to
know what
Applebee's
that
in
is.
months.
Yeah, because it doesn't have the best reputation lately. And lastly, Ryan, do you want to do your segment?
Hey,
See
what's it
the
called again?
Sealy and unsealy codes.
The courts. That's right.
Yes, because after all, the Ishu have got something to say about these because they technically invented the courts. She didn't do that. The Ishu did. So there we go.
These are pretty
What's
much like laws, right?
Yeah, like what's the big difference, the big deal between the summer and the winter courts?
I'm not gonna lie, I barely read through these, so I was just gonna read out the names.
So read out the laws.
The
Which
laws.
ones there are? Yeah.
All right. So we have the Sealy Ojo, which is heed the call of fate. Pass on what you have heard. Pretty much correct stuff. Seek the justice for those unheard. And that was it.
Where you hear those three, and the issue have this whole thing about higher calling. We're not going to live our lives the way we want to when there's people out there suffering. We need to go out there, and we have the power to do great things. We need to use this responsibly and help other people. That's what they believe in. You need to go out and need to be a paladin, so to speak, if you're an issue. You need to do your storytelling for good, your talecraft for good, your other magic for good. Everything must be for the greater good, depending on how you interpret that. Kind of knight-like in a way. They have some kinship with the trolls. And what are the next set of laws?
We got the Sealy Code, which is I don't know what the difference was between.
The she added a few laws onto their court system.
Oh, okay. So it's death before dishonor, love conquers all, beauty is life, and never forget a debt. And I mean, they're all pretty much straightforward what it is.
Yeah, it's not anything you really need to explain like you do with the litany.
Yeah.
So King, what do you think of these laws with the Sealy Court? Because after all, it goes out and says, go out there, have a lust for life, do the right thing, hug and kiss, make peace with the world around you, yeah, that kind of shit.
Both of them have their positives and negatives.
Yeah. Positive and negatives, you say?
Yes.
Yeah. I can tell you're reading a text message right now.
Something about it just texted me on Discord.
Rumble.
Never mind.
On Rumble. Set's got no money, don't worry about it.
Yes.
They paid Mersh $13 to do an ad read.
Okay, we're not doing that. Anyway, I just got a donation of $50. Have you tried root? I gotta stop.
Yes.
I send feet pics to Torador and Caribbean.
You
Yes.
gotta stop doing that,
I-
man.
But I got
have-
giant feet. They love my feet.
I have a picture of
They
a
literally
toad
love
dipping
my
Oreo
feet.
into milk.
That's disgusting.
That's with the Sealy Court. So what exactly is bad? Well, is there anything bad about these laws? Really?
I'll post it in this.
So it is. Well, I guess it's the end of the segment, King. All right, what's the next set of laws, Ryan?
The next set of laws is the sheet.
Yeah.
A sheet.
See,
Ease cheat.
yeah, are you looking at
Easy
the
cheat?
EQ?
There we go.
Yeah.
It's the one directly after the Sealy code.
Yeah, the EQ.
Is it the EQ?
Yeah. See, yeah. It's a funky font they're using.
Oh.
See,
Anyway.
no, I see what you're looking at the eChat. Okay, yeah. Read this off.
The rite of Dimension.
See, well, we do have to explain this. If you respect a ruler, you'll heed his words, but the ruler needs to be respectable for you to hear that. It's the whole, you must do this because I say so kind of shit. Where if somebody says it to you, are you going to follow that law? Typically, no, right? You have to actually respect the guy who's telling you that before you do what they say because they say so.
Pretty much.
Yeah. See, what's after that? The right to dream? I believe. Ryan, have you muted yourself again?
Hey.
Yeah.
So I googled it, and it's the rite of Demine.
Yeah.
And it's the rite of dream, where they are the teachers of mortals as well as fae, and should respect their students with their natural right to dream in peace.
Right. It's your dreams. You should have them the way you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my dream, and I can party if I want to.
Yeah.
The rite of ignorance is next. They are fast, but they're not so fast that they can outrun their enemies forever. And no one can outrun a banality. The less your opponent knows about you, the harder you are to find, which suits us just fine.
You want to keep a little bit of mystery about yourself. Don't reveal all of your Eshu secrets too early.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's one more right.
The rite of rescue. And that is many Kitane turn to them to organize such rescue parties, figuring out their knack of survival for surviving dangerous situations is just what they need. Fortunately, they're right. Rescuing a fellow Fae in danger is not only good for the dreaming, but an excellent way to earn a reputation with your fellows.
Because even if you hate each other, you are a rare breed. You need your numbers.
And there's two more.
Yeah.
The rite of safe haven, which pretty much says you are always welcome, but just don't overstay.
Right.
And return whatever
Basically.
hospitality you're giving twice as much.
And lastly, it's the right of life.
Rite of life. Those who would take the lives of their fellow Fae are quickly undone by a banality.
Yeah. So that's it. Just give me the right to live.
Yep.
There's no euthanasia in Kith society. All right. Next we have the EQ, where guess what the big first law is? There is no destiny. You make your own path. There is no higher calling. There is no greater station I need to rise to. There's nothing out there.
And there is
My
no
life
Queen
is
of
mine
England.
to decide.
Hmm.
There's no Easter Bunny. There's no Tooth Fairy. There's no Queen of England.
Oh my
It's the-
god.
It's the whole Ubermensch kind of idea. If there is no ideal for me to rise to that exists already, let me create my own ideal to rise to. Let me decide for myself what my life is going to be lived for.
Damn, that is a wall of text. That is just one law.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they have a lot to explain about existentialism. Let's see. Next
The
up.
second one is called Leave Trouble in Your Wake. I'm guessing that means always be a Hellraiser. Always cause
There it
issues
is.
whenever there
Because
is.
well, I'm not living my own life the way I want to if I'm not pissing somebody off, right?
Yeah. Relatable.
That's that law summarized.
And that goes on to for another fucking page. Damn.
Yeah, they have a lot to say about themselves with the issue.
There is one more. There's literally like a small section. And its vengeance is divine.
There it is. Doesn't it feel good getting revenge?
Yes.
Doesn't it good? Doesn't it feel good getting even?
Yes.
You know, you got to entertain that darker side of yourself.
In the immortal words of D-Day from Animal House, we got a saying in Delta: "Don't get mad, get even."
Get even.
Thank you, Ryan.
I gotta say.
Yeah.
I think I would play an Eco.
Yes.
These guys.
I like everything that's going on here.
You decide how you're going to live. You make your own laws. You live for yourself.
You
Let's
get
go-
even.
And then we got the unceded code, codified by the She. It's 4 simple laws.
Oh fuck! I closed it. Reopen close tab. It is change is good.
Yeah. Sounds
Glam-
simple enough.
Glamour is free,
Yes.
and honor is a lie.
Uh,
What? Eh.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
See,
That's
What?
debatable. And passion before duty.
I'm not gonna get all guilty and lose. I'm gonna get all cruel and win. Why fight honorably when I can just win?
It's true.
Yeah, what am I doing? Is playing by your rules like an idiot. So it's simple as that. Where you can tell that the EQ are just going to do what they want, whenever they want, however they want. Ultimately, the big difference between the two. And then you've got the shadow
the shadow
ones,
one.
where you take the uncity and you make them psychopaths. Ultimately,
They have no code.
you have the whole nihilism thing where saying, you know what, if life has no consequences and there's nothing I'm rising to in a higher station and our just kid society is screwed altogether, what's stopping me from just going around and beating the snot of somebody with a baseball bat? What's keeping me from doing that? Let me just go ahead. Let me just go ahead and leave it at. Let me just plant a grenade in this guy's gas cap. Let me just do whatever the hell I want because there's no consequence need to fear. Just just fuck it all, right? I can do whatever I want because I don't care about you and I don't care about what's going to happen to you.
Fun.
Yeah. Nihilism.
Bruh.
There it is. You get super gothic super quickly with the EQ, right? Like that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because I'm honestly imagining the goth kids from South Park with the EQ.
Jesus.
There it is. He farted into his microphone.
I'm so nonconformist.
Yeah.
I'm gonna conform to the guy that we were originally not going to conform.
Remember, you gotta stick it to the system by dyeing our hair like us, and wearing makeup like us, and wearing black like us, and drinking coffee like us, and smoking cigarettes like us. You gotta do what
Wait,
we
yep.
say, ultimately.
Reminds
Didn't
me of
Butters?
an Eminem song.
What if I don't want to be
Yeah.
like anybody else? That's why I became a mod, see?
Didn't Butters roast the goth kids where he said like, "I'd rather be a crying pussy than the F slur"?
Yeah. And they have the whole fight where it's the goths versus the emos.
Oh my god!
Aren't they like the
Yeah.
exact same?
You know, the goths, the goths are punk, the emos just hate themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
true.
little different.
There we go. And I think we're out of energy. I think we're out of ideas. That's the end of the episode.
No. But you
All
want
right.
to hear
Have a
us.
good one, guys.
What do you want to say?
Wait.
He's going to say something sexy before this episode's over.
Yes,
You know
say
my
it.
strategy. You know me so well.
Okay, well, what's the sexy thing?
Puka's be caked up on a Thursday.
I got jail in my
Fucking
room
damn it.
now. All right.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Ooh.
Now that we're on the tail end of the episode, I can share the idea that I had. And I think I did tell. I either spoke about this earlier or I told Johnny or something.
You
But, like-
have the idea of Sharif.
Yeah, Sarif Al-Hada. So basically, I think in an earlier episode, Johnny was mentioning, the story that Dan Avidan of Ninja Sex Party told, where like when he was in second grade, his teacher would play guitar for his class, and he would sing along with the songs that he was playing. And I was thinking I would love to do something like that sort of a character. And I also mentioned like, yeah, would be very good friends with, say, like what was the camp of Children of Gaia that cared for children?
Angels in the Garden.
Yeah. So he'd be sort of like the Faye version of that, where he would play like a traveling substitute teacher, like the like that one episode of The Simpsons. And he would basically go to different school districts and try to inspire kids to like follow their passions and follow their dreams, with stories of people who did the same and just encouraging people. Just like a real sweet guy like that. I'd love to play a character like that.
Kind of like David McCall, who made Schoolhouse Rock, where the whole legend is that he made the series after he knows that his son was struggling with multiplication tables, but could memorize Rolling Stones and Jimi Hendrix lyrics. So he made that entire series where he said, well, we're going to make 3 as a magic number. And then behold, you hit out of the park with that one. And then they started making an entire album based around that. And then behold, Schoolhouse Rock as a series got started.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'd love Schoolhouse Rock so much.
See, name me your favorite Schoolhouse Rock.
My favorite one, so I had them all on VHS tape. I think
did
the
I.
one I watched the most was Multiplication Rock. Like, I really like Grammar Rock, and I honestly owe a lot of me writing nowadays to Grammar Rock. But I think the one that had like some of the best songs on it, I think, was Multiplication Rock. But Grammar Rock was a close second to that.
Well, just in the middle of the day, like lolly, get your adverbs here. We'll just pop into the middle of my head.
Yeah, that I imagine that's what you feel like it was.
Schoolhouse Rock with School of Rock.
No.
School of Rock.
Yeah, Jack Black in it.
Let's see. We'll get Jack Black to make the next album of Schoolhouse Rock, and it'll be beautiful.
it's I'm placing blocks and shit in Minecraft. Whatever he says in the parody song.
Yeah.
He is Mr.
I gotta say,
Minecraft.
I've never seen Schoolhouse Rock.
Highly
There it is.
recommend
Well,
it.
well,
You could
we're
probably
going to
find them
change it.
on
We're going to end the
YouTube, like
episode.
if you want to. I think if
Well,
I
end
had
the episode and show him Schoolhouse Rock.
if I had to recommend an episode to share with somebody who's never seen Schoolhouse Rock before, probably Lucky 7 Samson would be a good one, where they do the 7 tables.
Or Taxman Max.
I don't know.
Yeah, it criticizes those people that say taxation is theft.
Oh, is that
Or not.
so?
Yeah, it's saying like, oh, okay, you don't want to pay taxes. I guess you're fine with not having a police department, paramedics, firefighters, a road to drive on.
You know, we had those before taxes, so that was government propaganda. But
yeah, well, who's going to build it?
oh, we are obviously.
Who's going to build it? Right, you're going to be like Goldman Sachs. You're going to start your road company.
Yeah, basically.
He's going to build all the roads, and they'll be beautiful.
Yeah, it will. It'd be great. Anyway, but for me, if you want Grammar Rock, either Conjunction Junction or I think it was just what was the one where it was like you had Verb Man or something like that. The kids were going to the theater.
Verb, that's what's happening.
Yeah, that one's really good. I love that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to look up, just some fun, some nostalgia or some just like fun songs that, I guarantee I'm going to be, when I do have kids one day, I'm going to show them Schoolhouse Rock, because that's like just the way to learn. Anyway, with that tangent done, I think that about tears it for this episode, unless anybody else have anything else. And my internet shat itself. It's going to be one of those again. I thought I'd finally escaped it. So I think if that's the case, I think that's going to tear it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Good night, everybody.